Let me just get a little prep going, and we should be good. Hope everyone's having a lovely time. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few tracks that you guys have sent. But we're also going to have a little bit of fun on top of that, which is going to be basically to do with the, we had a lot of fun looking at Reddit a little bit. The platform can be really funny sometimes. So yeah, we might do a little bit of that too. And as you can see, we've got some tracks submitted already. Welcome to anybody who's in the stream right now. We're gonna take a look. And what we got going. Hi, Verity. Good to see you. Let me just get some things prepared. Okay, let's see. Oh man, how you feeling? It's gonna be awesome. Oh, bless you. Yeah, today we're not gonna have a lot of people in the stream, which means that we'll get through some of these tracks, mostly a productive session today. We're gonna look through all the tracks that are here. And after we've looked at these ones, I remember there were some accidental submissions to the wrong link, which was in like a different one. So we can take a look at those ones as well. You're very sweet, Verity. Verite. Oh, the children. Oh, sorry, I gotta close my basement. I'll be right back. I'm kidding, there's kids playing outside. They're just having some fun. Oh no, you're not commenting in the wrong place, no. There was another track chain link, which was the incorrect one. Well, the old one. And this time we're just switching it up. But yeah, there's a few things to be done. Oh my. So to start off, normally it takes a little while to get the engines kind of going. So I thought might be a good idea to kind of go over anything like that isn't review based, more just kind of like a short little lesson or something. I think something that we could take a look at would be, either doing vocal processing. How do they do good vocal processing, huh? There's a lot of different things we can take a look at. So let's see. What should we go over today? Mid-side EQing. That's always a good one. Alright. So there's this thing called mid-side EQing. And the way it works is basically like this. Here we are. Let me just get this thing. Here we go. Nice. It's working. Sort of. There we go. Nice. So mid-side EQing. How does it work? So obviously you have your left. check. Check. Okay, this is a temporary solution while I get the real solution sorted out. So, see, audio is not about being perfect. It's about, on the spot thinking. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to demonstrate today. That was the whole reason I intentionally messed up my routing on purpose. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. See, it's just there we go. And boom, you guys should hear me again. Solutions. Awesome. See, figured it out. Anyways, so mid-side, where were we? Let's see if we can bring this back down here. Thanks for letting me know, by the way. I don't know why it was being so weird. So again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over a few tracks. First thing, while we're waiting for people to come in a little bit, welcome to the people that have just joined. Hope you're having a lovely afternoon if you're from the US, evening EU or UK or whatever. And yeah, we'll just go over a little bit of like simple mid-siding or something like that in the beginning. And what that means is basically mid-side EQs. There's like different features when it comes to EQs, and it can be quite fun to use it. I'll demonstrate first, right, what's going on, because just using Paint is not obviously gonna be, But let's say you have your left signal, right, which is let's do it in blue, because that way right could be red, because R red, right, yeah. So we have this, and we have sorry, that voice is distracting. All right, here we go. So we have L, and then we have R. If you have like something which is basically like, okay, the signal over here is exactly a duplicate of the signal underneath, it's gonna sound like it's basically mono, right? This will sound 100% mono, even if you're wearing, stereo, like wearing headphones or whatever. It will sound like it's right coming down the middle. Let's get a demonstration of that, right? Let's mute this, go over to Ableton View, and so we have like this little guitar. There we go. Let's turn that down so we don't die. So we can hear a little bit of width, right? But then if we decide that like, okay, well, I'm gonna mono this. Do you see how it's just become mono? It's like not really wide anymore, is it? Now it sounds nice and big and wide. You see again, we're going back and forth. So you can hear the difference easily, I'm sure you can. So mid-side EQing, you can do some really interesting things. You can make only some parts mono while some parts wider. And what does that mean? It means basically if we were to get an EQ, let's say we can use a Pro Q4, we can use, even like stock EQ8 or whatever if you're using live. But we'll use this one because it's like third party. That way anyone can access it. There's loads of mid-side EQs. I think TDR Nova is a free one, which also has it, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Let's say I have this. No, it doesn't have mid-side EQing. Okay, that's fair. Whatever. Wideband. Oh, never mind. Anyways, moving on. So if I play this little loop thing again, where we have this nice width and everything. So I'm going to remove the sides slowly so you guys kind of get what the gist is. Feels mono again, right? Now it's wide again. Now it's mono. Do you see how there's still signal coming through? Because we've removed the width. The sides is basically the width. Pretty crazy. So what you can do is not just remove it like this. You can be like, hey, you know what? I want to add a little bit of extra width to the low end, let's say, or the high end, let's say. So it's only wider on those highs. We do this. Now it's wider in the lows areas, you know? We'll make it more resonant so it's more obvious. That is not a regular filter, is it? Because a regular filter would sound a bit more like this if it's not a mid-side one. If it's like a regular stereo whatever. Oop, like this. Whereas if we do it with this, the width. Interesting, right? Interesting, right? So yeah, so your sides are gonna be the things to do with your width. And you can lower this in certain regions. If you feel like you're getting a little bit of harshness on the sides or things are feeling a little too wide in the low end and it's like muddying things, you can lower that. So if I turn off this EQ and this one over here, so we get some like shitty recording. So you see like there's a lot of low end muddiness now. There's now a lot of brightness and harshness. So and this is coming around the sides. So what we could do, we can have it stay warm if you want that nice, warm, rich, luscious guitar, but just lower those sides a little bit on the lower end. So the low frequencies are only in the mids, like in the mono sounding stuff, and they're not feeling widened out. So there you go. You see, you still have that lush, thick sound without muddying the sides and everything. I always found this unbelievable. Ever since I was a little baby, ever since I was a little baby, I always found the mid-side was so crazy to me. So yeah, honestly, I had a great time. Welcome to the stream, folks. We're going to be taking a look at tracks very shortly. Let's see. Yeah, very, very shortly. In, let's say, a minute, actually. We'll go over all of the ones. But yeah, that's, you know, so you want to use your mid-siding for, you know, checking out the difference between your, you know, mids and sides, like your width and your mono-ness, you know? And if you do this, you can tame a lot of things. If you have some vocals, which sound really low muddiness in the low end, but you know that if you remove the low end, like actually like this, it becomes thin, right? It becomes really thin, doesn't it? So what if you did like a mid-side? It's still thick, but it's not feeling muddy. Unless we do this to bring the mud. Right? But then if we do this over here, docks everything out. Now it's just too tinny. So yeah, that is the awesomeness of mid-side. Yeah, so definitely take a look at how this works. You know, this is something you'd want to probably spend some time on. All right, we're going to be starting to look at a few tracks. We have quite a few submissions right now. Right over here, we've got, let's see, I can't read those names. There we go. We've got Prod by Kush. So we're going to take a look at his track. We're going to take a look at Learbog, Afro, Syphilis. Sorry, that's Syphis. Rizzy made that, and Verity. Not a lot of people today, so we're going to be getting through these in a little bit more detail than expected, so it'll be nice. All right. And you know, you can obviously like type your little, oh, there's a message. So yeah, we can definitely take a look at these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over Prod by Kush, then I'm going to go with Verity, then Learbog, then Rizzy. I'll go like a little bit in that type of order. First, we'll go with the person who tipped. Thank you very much, Prod by Kush. Really appreciate it. Let's take a look at what we have. Let's see. Chrome. And we are going to play this thing here. What does he have? What do you have for us? Everything's dry. That's a hard bass. Implying beats. I like that. Implying that movement. Oh. That's a hard beat though, not gonna lie. I'd say like, I mean, how would I go about with those strings? Sorry, brass. One sec. I'll put this over. Oh. I think the mix is great. I don't see an issue with it. Yeah, the sax is pretty cool. Sound choices are pretty fire too, not gonna lie. The bass goes so hard though. This is actually a really well done bass. I don't know where you got the sample from or whether you did something. That's a really nice bass. Alright, so since this is a loop, I'm just gonna take a look at what we have. Alright, cool. Let's see what this is. I wonder if we can just like see what we can do with an EQ. Let's see what's going on in this track, right? If we can find a few fun little pieces of information, we might have a bit of learning moment, you know? Let's see. That's a clean mix. There's gonna be keeping it simple helps keep a mix clean. Oh, there's a I think the thing is that, like, if there was a little bit of parallel reverb, just a teeny bit, just to kind of put it into that room, it would probably come in a little bit harder, you know, with the pre-delays and all that stuff. Now, what pre-delay is basically when you have like a reverb, and like, you know how you, let's say you have like a sample that hits, like da 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 da, but then you have like a reverb, which is gonna basically do the same roughly thing. A pre-delay on the reverb, what it does is it kind of like just moves this a couple of milliseconds, like this much. Even if it's like, let's say like 4 to 6 milliseconds roughly, that would make quite a bit of difference. You'd hear you know, a little bit of a precedence effect, but something that kind of gives that sax a little more room. But if your sax is in a room, it feels like it's yeah, I'm not saying it like, you know, mixing it in the sense of like as if it's a real live orchestra. No, I just mean like, you know, like psychoacoustically speaking, it would probably feel like it hits a bit hard. And then after you've gotten like a nice little delay, sorry, a reverb, you just reduce like its gain like really drastically. So it's just kind of in the back, almost like a rough echo. But the thing is, also the delay, like the reverb's decay time, see what you can do with that, because here's the thing. If I put a bit of reverb, like I'll tell you what type of reverb would go really nice. Something with like a really low room size, something with a really low, or maybe even just mostly low decay time, right? Like this. So you have let's you see the difference? Just a teeny bit, right? I'm like kind of emulating it, aren't I? Just a tad bit, you see? Welcome to the stream, folks. Make sure to try getting your submissions down. just in that button over here, or like this link. I've pinned it in the YouTube comments. So go ahead, have some, get your tracks in if you want to do that. If not, feel encouraged to let me know in chat if there's any topic you want me to cover or anything. But yeah, good on the little sax sample. Feel really good. It was really nice. And see what you can. Bloody hell, you're kidding me. You guys couldn't hear that guitar? Restream. So I've just been... Bloody hell. Okay, let's try that again. Jesus Christ. You guys couldn't even hear the thing earlier on, could you? With the mid-side thing I was doing. God damn it. Okay, well. How about now? Yeah? Okay. So what I was saying was that we have... Oh, you heard the guitar. Okay. That's good to know. So, hard beat. So after that we had some sax. Or whatever. And you can like, if you add a bit of reverb to it, but not like in this weird crazy bit, you can do like this. Kind of gives it a little bit of space. And that makes the bass pumping harder. Because the bass is like actually in front now. Because if there's reverb, and they add that precedence effect, it's such a subtle reverb, by the way. Look how small that decay time is. I'll show you what I mean by decay time. Watch. No, too much. Turn it down. See the difference? Little bit of that extra width. So it'd be going parallel, right? That way, it still comes in with that kick and the bass and everything, but the bass is like on the side. I mean, not on the side, but like going parallel, basically. It's like got its own space, and so does the reverbs and all that stuff, though. So you definitely use chaining if you wanna, like FX tracks and a separate insert if you're using FL or something like that. Awesome saucers. Thank you so much for your submission. Man, really appreciate it. Really well mixed track. Really well mixed. I mean, it's practically ready. I'll take a look at... next up, I'll take a look at Verity. And then after that, I'll go with Leobarg. My artist name is incorrect, but... 11-second delay reverb on the bass. Fire! Let's see how that would be like, actually. I'm curious. I know it's going to be a mess, but let's make it so that it's only on the bass. 11 seconds. Here we go. Jesus Christ. Hey, Afro boy. Malkiel, good to see you. Danny, good to see you as well. We're going to take a look at this one here. My artist name is incorrect, but the... You know what? I might just... use this one for just the list, but then yeah, good job, and then use this one for like actually seeing things. All right, so my artist name is incorrect, but the site won't let me say anything in French. All right, so their name is Vérité et Passion. This thing, the website wouldn't allow the name. I'm assuming it's just the character count. Honestly, I'm assuming it's that, and if it is, they should mention. I get it. All right, let's see. All right, To My Children. Aw, Verity's made a track about the children. Okay, let's see. Well, if you gave him a good mix. Not genetically, producing wise. Not reproducingly wise. Producing wise.
If you only knew how much I do for you, the sacrifices I make, then you would never doubt the love in my heart for you.
Okay.
It's so true.
All right.
Love is self-sacrificing.
I'm just listening to the lyrics.
It's what I do every day for you.
You have a piano, right?
You are irreplaceable to me.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful song. Don't let it cut out like that. But gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. It's really nice. Adding more mids and less reverb on the main vocals. Oh, I see what you're saying, Danny. But you know what I think? I think it might be somewhat the opposite. Ooh. Let me see. Personally, I would add more mids and less reverb on the main vocals. I would have put the reverb less on the mids on the main vocals, but allow the other reverbs to come through. So for example, you have like if we had the reverb highs. Oh, let me turn this off. This is irrelevant right now. Let's say, you know, if they're running parallel, and then over here maybe a little bit more bass too. I'm not saying like, you know, oh yeah, we need them freaking 808s to knock or anything. I'm just saying if there's like some low end, it feels a little bit more mixed and balanced.
The sacrifices I make, then you would never doubt.
Yeah, and then we add a little bit of presence just to your vocal. Just for your vocal.
It's so true.
You know? Get some of that lift up before and after. Let me gain match it, otherwise it's cheating, right?
It's what I do every day for you.
Yeah. So what you want to do is get some of those. Okay, first thing you want to look at is the bass. Make sure it's coming up clear and nice. But before you actually look at the bass, make sure you get rid of, giving a little bit more presence to your vocal and some of the other instruments. Your presence is around 6.2 kilohertz for you at least. And then also something you want to do is give a little bit of width to the sides of the high end. Let that stuff shine and glimmer just a little bit. Then after that, you want to increase some of your lows and without, I just mean the instrument. If you're not using, what's it called? Like a beat that you just got, like if it's a beat that you got off YouTube, then you'll have to be a little bit more careful and be a little skeptical with your decisions. But if you got the stems, then you just want to boost the bass up, you know? And with this area, just make sure this doesn't get muddy. This stuff is just control it. That's all I say. Everything else, you're all right. So there you go. What happens if we add a bunch of reverb? I'm gonna see. And if we're gonna do that, you also want to make sure. Let me see. If you see, this has contrast in it now. So yeah, that's my advice for this track. Make sure that you don't just put this type of EQ curves on the master. That's not how it works, right? You want to do this on the sections that I've talked about. So this would be on the vocals presence, maybe on some of the other instruments, but be select appropriately. Like increase some of those high ends of that reverb and maybe dim some of the lower ends, like around this frequency area, 336, and get those lows up on that instrumental. You don't need it on your vocals, just on that instrumental. And then just tame that stuff that got muddied because you blew the crap out of your low mids, right? All right. Thank you so much for your submission. It's a beautiful song. I'm sure your kids will love it. You know, make sure it doesn't cut off like that at the end. You know? So, give it a little bit of time that it release. That's pretty much it. All right, folks, let's take a look at the next track. I think this is a double submission, maybe? We'll come to it. We'll come to it. We've got Afro Boy Malkiel Burrs. We'll first take a look at Leerbarg, and then we'll take a look at Afro, and then we'll start going down the list. Hello, madam, sir. My name is Gabriel. I'm a music producer from Francais, and I'm trying to get in touch with label managers or A&R for my music or other artists. Let's see. For my music or other artists, as I'm a beat maker. If you can help me or if my music could interest you, please let me know. It would be great for me as an emerging artist. Get in touch with label managers A&R. If you can help me or my music could be interested, it'd be great for me to imagine. Cordially, Gabriel, if you are interested. Here are some links. Spotify and all that stuff. Music, then beats. All right. What I'm going to do, Mr. Man. First, I'm going to take a look at your track. After that, I'll give you some advice, right? On what you can do to get started and get in touch with, you know, if you've not done much, right? Let's see. Beat by Leerbarg. Thank you so much for your submission, by the way, and thank you so much for your vulnerability and transparency. Let's get it. Let's see what happens. Okay. Alright. Nice. Okay. Okay, that changed. I went from like this type of move to Rhythm is an instruction of movement, my friend. It's an instruction of movement. Let me know how I'm supposed to move. And now I'm moving like this. Now I'm a bit confused. It's the same instrument that... You're giving me too many contradictory messages. I'm gonna give you a little clue, because I think this is gonna be a loop at this point. If this is just a same loop. Is there a drop? Okay, something happens here. 4. Then we went weird. Then we got weird with it. Okay, now I'm recognizing the chords. Chuck, 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 chuck. This is a real little mix between that organic shit to that pad-like synth. But the thing is, it feels weird because the real stuff is so present, whereas that pads and stuff is really low. It's not. I don't know how long you've been making music for. Wonder what kind of feedback I'm gonna give to this. I'm gonna just skip through because I feel like it's the same thing. And a bunch of things reversed. All right. Here's the thing, friend. The first thing I'm gonna tell you, rule number 1, when you're making a track, homie, the rule number 1 when making music, the rule number 1 when you're making music, there's no rule above this. Get it, right? Always move to the music you're making. Always move to the music that you're making. You must always move to the music that you're making. You cannot stop doing that. Even if you're like moving like this, right? Fine. Even if you're moving like this, but you need to have a sense of rhythm. You need to give the instruction. I need instructions. I'm dumb, right? I need instructions on how to move. You need to write me a manual. You need to actually go to your audience and be like, hey, are you going to be listening to my song today? Oh, really? That's really great. Thank you very much. So what I need you to do right now for me, when you listen to the song, is move on the downbeat with your head bopping downwards. But then I want you to move up in a staccato fashion. And I want you to swing, a little bit to the right during this interval. And I want you to do you need to write these instructions to me, man. You have to. But here's the thing. If you don't want to write those instructions... Is there like a birthday going on outside? Whatever. Anyways, if you don't want to write me those instructions, you got to give it to me through your rhythm and your beat, your track, right? If I'm moving over here, this is what you're telling me. This is the instructions I'm getting, right? Hey, it's going well. I got that bounce, right? Cool, nice bounce. I like it. Right? And then now I'm doing this. Now I'm a bit confused. Wait, what was I supposed to be doing? I'm going down like that. Instruction. Direct me how to move. All right, well, that's all the feedback I'll give for this track. But if you guys thank you so much for submitting your track. If you guys want to take a look at this artist and, where he could potentially go and how he's going to grow, take a look at his page. Thank you for your submission. And yeah, that's the main thing. And in regards to reaching people, first, get your music a bit better until, you get to that point. Afterwards, what your goal is going to be is go on YouTube. See if there's any, not Trap Nation and stuff like that, but see if there's any curator channels, the channels that curate music. You go up to them and then you be like, yo, I have this track. Can you take a look at it? I want it to be like this or so on and so forth. I like your channel. It's freaking awesome. And I thought my music would fit really well. Email them, you'll find this stuff. And then in their about me's, whatever. And you'll do a lot of emails. You shoot them out to maybe 11, 12 different people. Do 7 to 8 of them a day. And eventually you get your song on some curated YouTube channel. You know what I'm talking about, right? But that's neither here nor there for now. I want to give you one more chance, and then we're going to take a look at Afro. We'll do this one a bit quicker, though, because I do want to listen to the others. Let's see. Okay. Is this going to be a pad the whole way through for these entire seconds? Okay. 8th measure. I'm moving like this, right? I'm moving like this. What are you gonna tell me to do next? Are you gonna say do some or are you gonna... You got lucky. Okay. What am I doing? Now I dropped that motion. I can't move like that anymore. Now I'm doing this. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? I hope I'm making it really clear what the message is in regards to movement. Give it a shot like this, folks. You always move to the music you're making. Always move to the music you're making. Always move to the music you are making. All right? All right, next track. Thank you so much for your submissions, though. Really appreciate it. And hope you had Hope this was a constructive moment for you. Let's take a look at one more of Verity, because I think she has this, and then after that we'll go to Afro. Boy, Malkiel. Are you still around, Afro? It'd be great to see, if you want me to take a look at anything specific, just let me know. This one's called Baby You're Amazing. Yeah, gotta feel that groove, but you gotta instruct us how to feel it, If we start doing something weird, we're gonna get confused, so yeah. This is mixed much nicer. Oh, Verity. Yeah, we're on YouTube. Bam Causa.
I know that you
Yeah.
know think you're amazing. Do you wanna know why? Oh, baby.
What?
My favorite thing about you is your soul. Attractive mind. Your mind. I thought you're a genius. Let's start with your mind. You're so intelligent. Those first conversations, your brilliance was evident. You know all kinds of different things, always teaching me. Keep me on my toes with that playful wit. Our banter is my favorite dance. Take me for a spin, catch me. Baby, no one does it like you. Swimming in your mind.
Mature?
What I see, you wanna see. Makes me feel safe. Even the times it makes me nervous.
I think it's beautiful.
I'm not too worried. Never thought a man could accept me the way you do. Thoughtful and considerate, even when you don't know it.
It kind of just. What is going on?
Is it the gent?
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there because you hear the difference, right? Right over there. You can hear that little thing, but it helps. Your vocal placements, I agree. And, you know, you do sound much better and it's cleaner. But look, your vocals, when they run out of reverb and everything, listen to the beat, how dry it is. Yeah? Okay. Okay. You see how your reverb is in a different location compared to the reverbs that your beat is providing, right? Like the reverb that your beat is saying is a little bit more along the lines of you know, a nice clear ambient, like you know, like what's it called? I'm gonna loop that little section because that's all we have for now, right? Where is it?
Is it the
Listen to the reverb. Right? It's a little bit brighter, it's a little bit cleaner and brighter and nicer and fresh. It's up in the high end. But then when your reverb comes, think about the reflections, the echoes. Where is this in? Now watch what happens when I put your voice in there.
Is it the gent?
Whoa! You're in a church all of a sudden, or a cathedral or something. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of seeing. Verity, I think all you really need to do is take a look at how you're shaping your reverbs. That's it. Just you know about paralleling the reverb, but you got to shape it nicely now. Yeah. So yeah, this all sounds interesting. Thank you so much, Afro. Good to see you, homie. Oh my. Hope you're having a lovely evening, bro. We're gonna take a look at your track next. It'll be nice. So yeah, listen to the reverb. Like, here's the thing, right? Watch this. Let me see if I can de-reverb or something. Is there like a de-reverb by? Yep. Okay. All right. Let's try this. If I put it on your voice.
I'm not too worried. Never thought a man could.
Let me also get see if there's a way to remove the instrumental. If I do clarity vox, and see if I can do something like that. EQ on the reverb too, yes, abso-freaking-lutely. But the thing is, I feel like your reverb should include a little EQ thing on there. If not, then just do it anyways. But yeah.
I'm not too worried. Never thought a man could accept me the way.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try doing some stem separation because I feel like this is something we can. You know, Ableton is coming out with freaking stem separation on like. It's gonna be so litty, it's unreal. Oh no, you're not supposed to see this track here. No. Okay, let me open that again. Sorry, guys. All right. I have this thing. I'm gonna do mask. Where is it? Stem separation. Where is it? I swear to God, when I'm alone, I am so much faster at finding things. I don't know why I'm a little bit slower when I'm like actually looking for things in front of you guys. I guess I get a bit nervous. Right. Let's see. I think it's this one here. Stem splitter. Okay. Let's take a look, right? This thing is gonna split apart some stems. And I'm gonna see if I can like no way is it gonna take this long. No way. If it is, then I'll just move on to the next track while this does this. Oh, yeah, let's move on to the next one while this does this thing. All right, so next up we have, we will come back to this. We'll, because you're actually really close. Afro Boy, let's go! Hills and trees from where I am. There's not really network. All right, bless. Enjoy the hills and trees, bro. That piece must be lovely. All right, here's Ever by Afro Boy Malkiel.
Malkiel tracks.
Whoa! What the hell was that tag? What the frick? Oh, that was so loud, bro. Oh god.
Malkiel tracks.
Okay.
Purchase your tracks today.
Ow! Holy shit! Purchase your okay. No, that is very loud. All those ones. So this one was really loud. And after that, this one was really tinny. Oh man. I don't know. If you guys are hearing glitchiness, I don't think it's the thing that he sent me. Yeah, he didn't send me something really weird and glitchy. Let me see what I can do. Can I put this onto a different Ableton? Oh, I can. Okay, great. We can do that. Let me see. Stem splitter. Maybe not here. I'll close this one. Prod tags go hard. Yeah, honestly, like prod tags can be really heavy. Let's see.
Malkiel tracks.
It's keeping me in the on the air. Because having a lot of kicks keeps me up flowing. But it keeps me moving in this type of way. Keep my shoulders, letting them flow.
Purchase your tracks.
Is it better now?
Purchase your tracks.
You're kidding me. Well, you know what? There's 23 seconds left, so why not just wait for this? 20. Can you guys hear me fine though? Okay, it should be done. No more of the other stuff, right? So hopefully that should be okay now. Because it's done processing. Yeah, we gotta find a better way to do that.
Malkiel tracks.
Everything clean? We're all good? Yeah, I was just saying that when the kick isn't happening every...
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
A tag after a tag? Oh, I didn't say it again. Alright, be good. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't listen to this. There's way too many freaking tags. There's a tag like every 2 bars, bro. And it's a piercing one. Like, no. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. We're gonna take a look at another one of yours. I'm not even giving this feedback. I'm sorry. Because it's insulting. Like, look, if you're gonna do like a little, like a watermark, that's fine. But you don't need to make it so damn painful. Yeah, I mean, I respect that no one has to steal it, of course. But like, you don't need to make it that piercing. It's like what the fuck is that? Like, make your beat. Like, it's like that loud? No. Do it humbly. Not too humble, but humble. To the point where it's like really obvious it's your track. Don't make it something that's far in the left, because that's easy to remove, right? Because then you're just doing it between. Do it something stereo. Do something like okay, a good way to do a producer tag, which no one will be able to do, was steal. And I just deleted a bunch of tracks, so there's going to be a bit of a situation. But if I do something where, like, let's say I record this. Purchase your tracks today. Or, purchase your tracks today. Okay, that one was too, whatever. So, let's say we got purchase. Yeah, we don't want to make it blaringly loud. Purchase your tracks today. Having like a little bit of reverb, a little bit of width. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. You don't need to make it like freaking this. Purchase your like really loud. You don't need to make it like this either. Like, oh, let's put an EQ and do the crap out of this. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. This is not necessary, alright? I'm sorry for everyone that I've hurt the ears off. This is not necessary, just don't do it. It doesn't need to be painful. Alright, let's move on. Next track, Bad Gal. Alright, let's go.
Malkiel Tracks.
Okay, what's going next?
Purchase your tracks today.
Oh, sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to skip you. I have a feeling you're gonna do this a lot. I think this is what's gonna happen. Just send it again, but please humble the stuff. Just humble it. Just humble it. Don't have to make it so loud. Like, even the beginning, I was trying to move to it. Your movement is nice, as far as I know. If I were to give you feedback on your track, movement is nice, and but your arrangement lasts too long. If you have something where it's like 8 bars, then you move on to the next 8, or maybe 4, or you add a little something on the next 4. Like, you want to keep the arrangement shifting a little bit. Keep things moving. If it's just a loop for 8 bars straight with nothing different, people start to recognize this is a loop and not a beat, Alright, let's take a look at Syphis. Alright. Starts right off. There's something came in, right? Alright. Snare needs a little bit more knock. But otherwise it's alright. I think it's the same thing all the way through. What'd you have underneath that 808? Your 808s are drowning everything. You need the 808s to be loud without drowning everything. And the way you do that is by not having the subs burst through the limiter. See the bass chills a little bit. Alright. The chords are nice. The chords are nice. I mean, a little dramatic, and that's what it's supposed to be. What do we have here? Let's open up the CQ. Oh shit. Sorry. One sec. Let me turn that down. And oh. Your snare. I'd give your snare a little bit more of a 1.5 kilohertz boost, 1.6, 1.5.5, whatever the hell, roughly there. Mostly because, you know, make it something that knocks. I'm doing it on the entire track right now. It shouldn't be like that. You should gotta do it on your snares, because that will make it, just come through a little bit harder. Because you need that knock. You're getting some real nice stuff over here. I appreciate that you kept the fundamental of the snare intact. That you did really well. A lot of people who do trap screw that up quite a bit. So try to make sure you don't stop doing what you did. That is really good. Well done. I'm really proud of you. Right? That is good shit. People genuinely forget that. So you see, if you dip this, the snare kind of doesn't exist. But now it's coming up, now it's a good level here. We do this, it gets too quiet. Almost like this. Here we go. So yeah, otherwise, cool beat. Yes, I would definitely say that, like, add some additions, have some more arrangement. I mean, it's cool what you did with the arrangement in the beginning. You had like a little loop going, and that allows somebody to kind of rap over it or whatever. But then after that, you have like a little section where you have like, little melodies or like little strings or something comes in. I don't remember. But that rejuvenated the beat, even if it's like a little addition. That was good. But then throughout the track, just keep an eye on arrangement. You don't want it to get tedious, right? But other than that, good job. Thank you so much for your submissions, Sifis. Bro, your name. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at... he's got one left. Why not? What is Stratosphere? Dude, this is literally a brick. Oh my gosh. You know what this reminds me of? Okay, so we go over here, right? And we do this thing where it's like something like this, right? And then we just have a little bit of this. Beautiful. See that? Right? You guys know what this is. And, all we gotta do is... Oh. Okay. And then... Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wasteman. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip, hooray, motherfucker. But if the beat is fire, we'll keep these candles lit. Alright, let's go. Next one is... Okay. Alright. You know what? Your bass is loud, but like... the stuff isn't drowned out in my sides. Welcome, Dragon. Hope you're having a good time. Alright. It's gonna change. 2, 3, and... No, it didn't. Alright. Something you gotta also do is tent polling, right? Tent polling means when you are going from one part of a track to another, right? So if you have like a beat going and you're gonna be changing arrangements up or something, even if it's like a sweep, like you gotta tempo. Audiences like me, we're stupid. We don't know anything about music, right? We are just sitting there and we don't even know what's going on. So we're just sitting there bored and we don't know what's going on. So because we're like, oh, you know what? I'm on bar 7.3 and nothing's gonna happen. So, you know, what you gotta do, you make that a little bit easier to understand. Yeah, I'm sure it would be great with lyrics. So let's say you have like some beat, right? Why not use colors? Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so here's the thing. You're gonna have your loops as they happen, right? They'll have like a little thing going on over here. But then after that, you'll have a boom right on top again. You'll start again. Like the loop is gonna start again. But the thing is that it's not gonna start at the same point. It's gonna start a bit lower, like over here. And it's gonna get worse and worse, right? So what you wanna do is basically in these areas, like when it starts to get too low, like this. Now, this is a critical point. You don't want to go below that. So you want to start doing some other things. For example, whether you have like a little hi-hat type of situation or whatever the hell you want to add in there. Like, whatever the hell, I don't know. You can do something like that. And if you feel like your loop is so fire that it actually goes on for quite a bit, but still dies out, have a tent polling feature where it's like, oh, you know, something that rises or builds into the next part, or maybe even a like comes something over here like that, like amplitude wise, and that will just keep this thing perked just up a little bit higher up. That way, if it starts to go down, you lift it right back up, and then boom, the drop comes, and because there's such a big contrast, it feels good, right? And you give all of the people that dopamine. So that's how arrangement works. Try to make sure there's always something that's kind of there, and there's tent polling. So I was being a bit loud, so turning it down by 5 to 10 decibels. Holy shit. Well, Danny says. There we go. So this is that track. We pretty much got the gist of it. Thank you so much, Sifis. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna, if it's a loop, I'm just gonna have to, yeah, because we know what's going on. All right, so there's that. We're gonna take a look out. We're gonna have a little bit of a break, folks. It's been 1 hour since the stream started, and it's been lovely. We will be back very shortly. I'm gonna set a timer actually because I will remember this time. And I won't be back. I won't be able to take that long. Hope you guys discuss amongst yourselves. I wonder. What do you guys think about, like, what are the different ways that you guys feel would be an interesting way to spice up a loop. When a loop has been going for 4 bars, 8 bars, or whatever the hell, what would you say is the best thing to do? I want to see you guys type it in the comments or chat or whatever. I'll be back, gonna go for a smoke, and let me know. And we'll discuss some of these options. What are some cool ways to tent pole your audience to another part of the arrangement? And keeping it fresh. All right, BRB. Happy birthday to you. BRB. Okay, I have returned, my friends. And now I am interested to see what you guys have said about tent polling. Okay, let's see. What did you join in on? I have no clue. Lyrics, yeah. In my eyes, when a loop has been going on for too long, I think either adding, removing accessories, elements, or chopping the sample would work. Yeah, just to let them know something's moving or something's changing and something's coming up. That's definitely a way. If you cut something, everyone knows that the beat's gonna have something else added onto it, right? So it's one of those situations. For me, it's adding vocals, a new, gosh, what does it say? A dramatic pause and then restart off the drums or beat. Yeah, absolutely. That's what was said. Simpler groove, drum stop, extra instrumentals, voice. Yeah, I can see you guys are saying like similar things. Like even cutting the beat a little bit might actually make quite a bit of difference. It's a really simple way. Cutting the beat is like the hip hop version of having sweeps, you know? So yeah, you guys came out with adding sweeps to EDM, I mean. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely really cool ways. You can add like a few plucks, ding, 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 or like some chimes. If you're doing R&B, a way to do it in R&B is like, you know, like with the chimes. Yeah, that can turn out really nice too. And just like having it slowly pitched down because R&B likes to borrow from hip hop, right? That sampling element. So yeah, thanks Verity for the welcome back. Okay, so let's see. You know what I'm so grateful for? In the past when I was like sent beats, or like shown beats, there used to be like some people would like make these trap beats and they'd get so emotionally invested in the trap. I remember this one beat I was shown and it had like a really quiet sound, like a gun clocking, and then just BAM in my right ear. I was like, whoa, what the frick? Yeah, blew my freaking mind, but mostly blew my ears out. They got so emotionally trapped in that thing where they were like, oh, I'm coming up as silence before you know it, bam, and then they did it to the user. And I'm like, ouch, ouch, what did I do to you? What did I do? Why you gotta do me like that? But yeah, hey Warm, good to see you. Okay, so before we take a look at Rizzy, we'll take a look at Verity's last track. I think that because the stem separation's been done, we can hopefully just drag this in. Check. I'm not coming double, good. All right, let's see. We have some vocals. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear these, but no, you guys can't hear that. All right, well, I've got an idea. What if we export this and then put it onto our DAW? 32-bit, 24 is fine. Could do just FLAC. Gosh, I don't know why this interface is so... I know why it's broken. Save this. And then we'll leave all of this stuff as is. We'll just use the vocals. Let's see. This is what I would do with your vocals, right? Put this over here. And there we go. All right, so I forgot to start the timer, didn't I? Whoopsie. All right, let's take a look at your vocals.
Do you wanna know why? Oh, baby.
So you remember your
Makes me feel safe, even the times it makes me my favorite.
I wonder if we can what you call it, go on other instruments. Listen to the reverb, how nice Oh wait, I'm gonna have to export this, aren't I? Let's see. Downloads. Fine. Let's put that over here for now, and then we will put other instruments in here. We have like something. This is not all of the instruments. It's just like some of them. But anyways, listen to the reverb of this. You can't hear much, but you get the gist. It's bright, it's clean, it's clear. And then we go into, where is this being recorded? Right? So if we decide that, okay, let's reduce some of those sides in this area. The reverb is generating the sides, that's why I'm doing it.
Do you wanna know why? Oh, baby, my favorite thing about you.
So you can already hear the difference. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some percussion back in. Export this as well, so we can actually just hear the beat, right? Like the track. And you know what? While we're here, we may as well do the bass. You know, Ableton's gonna have a stem separation thing. No, not where as in, you know, in your actual recording. I mean, where as in, not like your bedroom is fine to record things. I mean like the reverb. Where is that saying that this has been recorded? Because think about it this way, right? If I'm gonna be here, like, you know, recording something, let's say, hello, where am I? Do you think that I am in a small room? Or am I in this beautiful studio? Or where, I don't know. So let's say I have this recording over here, right? I'm sure it sounds clean. I'm sure it sounds okay. Let's see if we go over here and, hello. Oh God. All right. So let's say, for example, hello, where am I? Hello. So you can already hear like the friggin', you know, which is clean, is clear, whatever. But if I decide to add some reverb, right? This is what I mean by space, right? Where am I? Do you think that I am in a small room? Or am I in this beautiful studio? Does that sound like it's in a cave or something? Or does it sound like you're in a room or a nice little studio or a little live session environment where you could do something a bit like this? Where am I? Do you think that I am in a small room? Or am I in this beautiful studio? You know, like you can see like the difference. I think diffusion needs to be increased. Where am I? Do you think that I am in a small room? You see the difference, right? Compared to that big echoey thing. That's what I meant by where are your vocals. You can record them in your room. That's not the issue. I'm talking about reverb. But anyways, what we're gonna do now, I'm just gonna delete this thing here. Yeah, it sounds like an auditorium. It sounds like something crazy. And that's not where you are though, right? So I'm gonna just put this percussion in here while File Explorer decides to do what it gotta do.
Do you wanna know why? Oh, baby.
Did I not get the bass? Okay, fine. Let's re-export this. 24-bit float. Da 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 da. We'll just add 2 here and try again. All right, let's put the bass in and let's see what happens. I doubt the bass is even coming through, to be honest. Oh yeah, the bass has barely anything in it.
Do you wanna know why?
All right.
Is your soul attracted?
You see the difference compared to
Your mind is that you're a genius. Let's start with your mind. those first conversations. Your brilliance was evident.
Let's see if we can remove those reverbs entirely and try again.
Do you want to know why? Oh, baby, my favorite thing about you is your soul.
Okay, let's turn these off for now.
Do you want to know why? Oh, baby, my favorite thing about you.
Okay, it's not doing a good job of removing the reverb, but if I was to add something.
Do you want to know why? Oh, baby, my favorite thing.
You see the difference?
You is your soul. Attractive mind. Your mind thought you're a genius.
But the thing is,
You're so intelligent. Those first conversations.
you see now it's fitting better, right?
Is evident. You know all kinds of different things.
So yeah, the reverb is really quiet. It's like, okay, there's gonna be multiple reverbs when you're doing parallel, right? There's gonna be one reverb, which is gonna be like the reflections are coming from the far end of the room. What am I trying to explain? I'm trying to explain that reverb, when you're using it, you want to think about... Okay, I'll make it a bit easier to understand. One sec. So think about it like this, right? When you are in a situation, like you're in your room right now, if you clap, you can hear the reflections of your room. If you're in a cave, you can hear the reflections of the cave. You can hear these reflections, these echoes, you know, we call them reverberation, reverb, right? Because things are reverberating. So what reverb is just, again, reflection. So what that means is that if your track is in a really like a really nice ambient type, not ambient, but like a nice clear studio, if your recordings sound like they're coming from something which is, let's take a look at the beat, right? The stem separation was done horribly, but does it sound like it's in a cave? Because if it was in a cave, I think it would sound a bit more like this. Oh, wrong reverb, but fine. Maybe a nightclub or something. This is not what your beat sounds like.
Pretend, take me for a
You see, that's not how your beat sounds like. Your beat sounds like this. If we exaggerate the reverb of this beat, it would be a bit more like this, right? You know, this is where the beat is fitting. So if your beat is in this type of a space, in this type of a location, then maybe your reverb being all deep and echoey and low like this,
You're so intelligent. Those first conversations.
maybe that type of reflection doesn't work with that type of a beat. You know what I mean? That type of a location of the beat. Yeah, so that's the point, you know? But yeah, hopefully that makes it clear. Make sure your reverbs are fitting the ambience that your track is in. So yeah, anyways, moving forward. If there are any more questions, please let me know. I think that was the last one by Verity, I believe. Yes, baby, you're amazing. Yeah. But other than that, good job on the track. I liked it. It was really cute. You know, it's something that, you know, like your partner would enjoy maybe or something. Yeah. So let's take a look at Rizzy Made That. Here we go. All right. What does he have for us? Give me the night. F sharp minor. Great key. Let's go. Oh! That's a producer tag without an issue. Switch. That's lovely. The crow doesn't come in every bar, like that Bobby Shmurda track. Ow! You got some really cool perks in there, but I feel like you've dipped them. That's a nice loop sample. You got this down, down. See? Making sure it's not staying the same for too long. I like this. All right. Good variation, absolutely. See, you got some of these. Something about the 808 though. Something about it. Levels are good. Maybe it doesn't need as much of a... Maybe the 808s are a little too much. Like there's subs everywhere throughout those 808s. But other than that, cool little, you know, it's a nice sample. Good beat, good variation, good, yeah. Let's turn this off and let's go over here. Let's delete this. Yeah. Your 808s could, I feel like the 808s, oh shoot, you guys can't see the, I feel like the 808s could probably afford like a little bit of, like lower, like maybe 3 decibels less on the subs. I mean, those are really heavy on the subs. Like to the point where it's like all the way for all of them. Like throughout the whole thing. Like you have, you see? Still sounds hard. 808s have lost no energy. The track has been lifted and the 808s have not lost any energy. Right? You don't need all the subs, right? It's just about balance. If you want to keep them pumping, 2.3 decibels. Because the thing is that dong 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 dong, that should feel a little loud sometimes, you know? It should come in as like a... When you do dong 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 dong, it should feel like a tom. So whenever 808s go past the subs point, they start becoming a tom. And that's where you have dong 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 boom boom, you know? So it's okay to allow them to go up a bit loud over there. Like, you know, not too much, like... But relative to the subs, it's allowed to be louder. Wait, am I controlling everything here? One second, let's delete. Just a tad bit, maybe not a lot. Is this... Oh, I see why this is too much. Let me do this. There we go. You see, it's allowed. You're allowed. Yeah. Cool, amazing, cool track. See if you can get some of the fundamentals of that snare back. You know, just a little bit. Just like maybe like a 2 decibel, 3 decibel boost on the snare fundamental. Where is that snare? Maybe somewhere here? Like, it feels like it's just been cut off. You know what I mean? But other than that, dude, you're really good. You're really good. Like, making a beat. I feel like you're getting there, dude. Like, you're really, really getting there. I really appreciate this. I want to hear what you do next week as well. If you can submit a track next week and show me what you've like gotten, like, you know, don't destroy your subs, obviously. Just a little bit of a dip, you know. You can hear it back on the stream, I think, and you'll be able to see. I think you'll have a great time with it. You've got. Let's see. There's a snare. Let's see. Yeah, your snare has maybe a little bit too much presence, but we'll see. You see that presence is coming in a little harsh. But then it's also a stylistic choice. That's not a problem. Because the thing is, if you boost this area of your snare, it's going to be bright. And I see why you're going with a bright, happy snare for something like that. You could also make it a little bit darker, where it's like boosting around 2.8 of your snare instead of your 8 kilohertz. You can kind of darken your snare a little bit. But that's the area you might want to mix between. Like, oh, maybe I want the snare a little bit louder in this area, maybe a little bit dim over here. But you don't have to do that. This is just an option that I'm providing. As like, you know, if you are going to tune your snares or whatever, you want to think of it like that. Because I feel that when it comes to snares, there's like pretty much 2 different presence regions, right? There's the presence region, which is like the, I would think of it as like the timbres, like, you know, the snare has to come forth in this type of music. So you have like, you can either have it in the bright area or the dark area, and which is around here or here. Like, it's not that much of a difference. It's going to be somewhere between this region here. It's not going to be like between here or here, right? It's not going to be one of those things which are going to be like, oh yeah, the dark region of the snare is over here, unless you're taking a look at a different style of music, right? So you can definitely do this where it's like, you know, where it's like, let me, you see, now you get that nice lower fundamental of that snare. Now you've gone a bit dark. You've gone a bit grim. You know? Just that little switch of the snare makes it so much more of a grim snare by just deciding which part of the timbre you want being the presence. So yeah. Yeah, it revolves around, in my case, it revolves around the sample, which is happy to some degree and sounds happy. Yeah. Happy, dude, I don't care if it's happy, sad, whatever. It's happy, sure, but I think it also goes hard. You know, you got happy with hard, and that's freaking great, bro. I love it. Good beat. Good beat. In fact, I'm going to take a look at one more of yours before we move to Alternus. We got this one here. Danky Eminat. E minor! Oh, okay, I'm so... Alright, let's go. I'm so sorry. Alright, here we go. This is how you're telling me to move? Are you gonna switch it? Are you gonna change it? Are you gonna mess with it?
Your reason turn me up.
You didn't mess with it. You added to it. Now you asked me to move my elbows and shoulders. That's good shit. Beat-wise, rhythm-wise. Nice! That dong 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 is a little bit loud. But it's okay. It's a tad bit lower, like 2.5 decibels. Only for that region though. Only for that region. Hold on. I'm sorry. One sec. I gotta show you. Let's go to that bit again. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Do something different with that. Maybe a different way to do that sample. Maybe a different version of that sample. And it's also so low down. It's hard to tell the contrast. I'm just gonna quickly pause it there so we can take a look at the dong dong dong. Where's the dong dong dong? Here it is. Here, this is the only part you gotta tame it at. That's fine. There, that part. That part is a little too much, just a little too much. And you only want to do it for that bit. And you know what, bro? Here's the thing I want to tell you something about. If it's above like 200 freaking hertz, why not add a little bit of reverb on it? Like just do a parallel bit of reverb, just a little bit of low decay time, you know? Like, where is this, around 200? Let's put it over here so we don't mess anything up. All right, and we lower this. Just for that instrument. What about something like this? We need a util over here so we can increase it and do a gain match. Let's see. You see how this little room type of reverb fit your thing a little bit cool? Made it quieter a little because, you know, whatever, but so imagine this type of reverb only on just the dong 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 dong, like that instrument, and only that reverb happening above like 150, 180 hertz, 100 and maybe even 20 hertz, right? That region roughly. So you do it for that. It might, and you know, you maybe let it a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's like a little bit, you know, but it's fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like actually do this like parallel. I'm not sure which DAW you're using, but you can do this on FL as well, by the way. This is not a difficult thing to do on FL. It's probably just as easy, if not easier, because you just route it to a different insert, right? So cool. I'm just gonna cut everything out from here. And I'm gonna dip the rest of this. Right? And I'm gonna be able to mix it along with this. So let's say both of these are at 0. We'll put this at like minus, I don't know, whatever. So this one over here is your dry chain. Right? You know? Yeah, give it a shot. It gives it a little bit of space. Right now, it sounds really monoed out. I understand you're just a bass, but you can have reverbs, like, you know, parallel from a bass. It's not an issue. The only thing I would say is that, like, make sure you're not having the subs going too much into the bass. And you say you're going to try that. So let me just tell you real quick what it is. You have your signal, but then you have that bass going into a different insert with the reverb at 100%. and then you want to dip out your lows, not all the way like harshly, like in this asshole manner. You don't need to do a brick wall. Just a nice little fade is fine. Let's not forget this over here is like a negative 20 decibel at like 80 hertz. Like this is a big deal. So yeah, give it a shot, man. I think you'll have a great time with it. But other than that, nice beat. Okay. Nice. That was cool. Dong, 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 dong. Try doing a different fill as well. Dong, 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 dong. Not the same one. Dong, 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 dong. You know, it can do a lot of different things. I know it's like contrarian, but I think people appreciate contrarianism, even if it's like against that genre a little bit. Because it's one more left, why not? Let's do this one real quick though. This one will be really fast with it.
You know Seth? Seth got the waves. Your reason to be up.
Ooh, that was weird. I like it. The snare fundamental. You see that what I'm saying? You didn't cut it this time. Puh. Okay, that's fine. But then, puh. That fundamental came through. Nice beat. Yeah, I don't see an issue with this one. You're very tasteful with how you do your 808s in some of these tracks, and I appreciate that. You're finessing with the rhythm, you know what I mean? You're telling us. Okay, I think it's a loop now, so I'm just gonna stop it there. But other than that, great job, man. Great job. That was probably your better one. Thank you for your submissions. Please come back next week and let me see what you've done differently. Next up, we've got Alternus. Bro, Danny boy, here he is. Let's take a look. This song's name is Error, and the other one's song's name is Error. Okay, so you submitted the same one twice. All right. Let's see what's going on over here. Yeah? Guys, let's take a look.
Or 04 Soul.
Okay. I need to put this in my door real quick. Let me just have this rolling first. Okay, that's pretty cool. That was really cool. Okay. Arigatou
Or
gozaimasu.
04 Soul. No upload.
You're good with rhythm. You're putting me in a warm environment with those low mids on the sides. I'll appreciate it instead of getting worried about it. Maybe like a before it goes into this dark thing, like a weird pitch up. There's like side areas you could use up for this bit. This is nice. The mix is incredible. That's Danny, folks. is amazing. This mix is beautiful. You can hear those plucks perfectly. So clear. That was strange, but it's on purpose. Yes, Verite. It did feel like a journey. That was incredible. That was beautiful. You know, listening to some things from like people like Zed or whatever, like you know, where they've done some remixes of certain types of music. I think that you can afford to get your bass up a little bit. Like, what would truly be drowned out?
404 Soul, no upload.
Like, what would it be lost? I don't think anything would be lost.
404 Soul, no upload.
Not for your kicks, just for the sub. And then a little bit of... You can add a bit of air to your bass. Not everything is mixed really well. It's it's an impeccable mix. It's beautiful. I would just say that like the bass, the mix is so good that the bass can afford to have a little bit of its presence, or like the high end around 8.6, 8.8, like boosted.
404 Soul, no upload.
I'm boosting everything. It shouldn't be like that, right? I'm just like maybe... The reason why is that way it just comes through and it kind of encapsulates like the entire mix around that bass a little bit.
404 Soul, no upload.
And while you have the air boosted for that bass around 9 kilohertz roughly, you can have like 5 kilohertz boosted on that lead. You know? Just a little bit. But other than that, I can't really say much. This mix is really beautiful. Everything is freaking kicking in. Everything's punching through. Like, honestly, it sounds beautiful, man. I think you've done an amazing job. This guy, I know this guy. He freaking, like, he mixes and creates music on like a freaking, I would say a potato, but that's just insulting to potatoes. Like, I'd say a potato chip. Like, his computer is more fried than a potato chip, right? And the fact that he's gotten this far with it is absolutely insane. I'm really proud of this guy. You should give the synth some phantom sidechain. It would make the kick hit a lot harder without actually being louder. It makes it really clean, but the kick isn't really punching through the rest of the synths. Maybe, I don't know.
404 Soul, no upload.
I don't know. I mean, we might have to agree to disagree on that. I mean, you can take Paige's advice. He's a good mixer too, but yeah, I think the kicks are fine in my opinion for this type of, you know, but he might be onto something, but I don't know. I think the kicks are fine. I think they're good. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Let's see. Okay. So, next track. Let's take a look at next one. Thank you so much for your submission, bro. Thank you so much for showing up to the stream. I really appreciate it. Please keep on submitting your tracks. That's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff. We'll take a look at Paid Hotspot real quick. Gosh, some M&A people coming. I didn't even do an announcement. Demo track I produced for Zofi. It's like 90% there. Just gonna record ad-libs and finish mixing and mastering in a few days. Would like some feedback to see where I could take this. Absolutely. I'd be fucking honored, especially for one of your tracks, Paid. Uh, can I record ad libs and finish mixing? Let me think. Let me get into thinking state. All right. No, what do you mean it doesn't? It sounds amazing. Like it's listen to a bit of Zed, and then like Zed's what was that Epos album, and just take a listen to that, and understand that you're not doing exactly what that is, right? And you're doing something different, but at the same time, you have your own thing that you're going for, but you can take a couple of tiny things from there, you know? Look at how he does his basses. I think that might be something that is fundamental to what you're going for, maybe. Let's take a look at. It's an old album, but it's not that old, right? Broken Destiny demo. You want to do this for mastering, so you want some mastering feedback on this. Mixing and mastering in a few days. Would like some feedback to see where I could take this. All right. No. Just general feedback, not about mixing and mastering, because, okay, we haven't, all right. I don't know if I'll be able to download this. I wish I can. In fact, hold on, I forgot to do something. Oh, no. Where was Danny's track? Reopen last. I'm gonna have to favorite this. This was beautiful. This was absolutely beautiful. Let's see what we have with remember when you are doing mastering, take a look at this area here, because this might be below your range. And if it's below your range, it's not gonna affect your LUFS, and that's not a good thing because it's a quiet region, right? Anyways. Nitpicky as humanly possible.
I didn't wanna fall, but you left me drowning. You did not care at all, girl, you left me frowning. I'm falling for you, dear. I love it when you're near, but you just disappear. Just let me out of here.
The vocals aren't done right, but we can come to that in a little bit.
I didn't wanna fall, but you left me drowning. You did not care at all, girl, you left me frowning. I'm falling for you, dear. I love it when you're near, but you just disappear. Just let me out of here. I really thought that we were something, but you always change your mind. I thought that we were lovers, how could I be so blind? I thought we had each other for the rest of our lives, but you stabbed me in the back, now I'm taking out the knife.
Needs a bit of brightness.
I wasted all my time trying to have you in my life, a worthless sacrifice.
It's good so far though,
You
yeah.
never cared, girl, you did me wrong, but I don't care.
Money on the sides now.
I don't care about you, no, I can't live without you. Please stay away, had your chance, no, I can't help you. I couldn't breathe without you, no, I can't be around you. Get out my face, I cannot ever love you.
Yeah.
Girl, you just set me free. Thought we were meant to be, a broken destiny. I hate what you did to me. Wish you had a different life. Yeah.
It's a nice song. I like those. I always get emotional when I hear these types of organs. Yeah, okay. Beautiful. Let's take a look at what we have here. Nice song though, nice song. Let's take a look at these. You start to get a little bit muddy in your low mids over here.
I don't care about you, no, I can't live without you. Please stay away, had your chance, no, I can't help
3 decibels.
I couldn't breathe without you, no, I can't be around you. Get out my face, I cannot ever love you. Girl, you just set me free.
even if you can have like a really dark track, it's still good to have some of air in there, because you can have air in a dark track, but that is going to be where your spectral centroid curves are going to be mostly relying on, like, are going to be the most noticeable, right? When it comes to masters through whatever. The air is just something that you kind of need to keep going. You're getting like specific resonances, homie. Like there's some specific resonances that are occurring. Let me see if this does something. Maybe if I do something like this. There's some resonances in this lower mid. Yeah. Yeah, the vocals need to be redone. And I would also say that like think about this, like what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking a look at your mix. I'm seeing that there's a lot of weird resonances and stuff in your synths, I think. I think it's the synths. I'm not sure if there's any other layer. So that needs fixing. Get some freaking air back, right? Even if it's a dark mix, it's good to have some air. You don't need presence and brightness in that crazy fashion, but some air is always good. Always make sure you balance and mix that air out. Another thing, just take a look at how you've been doing your vocals. We're gonna record this again because I don't have your vocals properly from the beginning. Here we go.
I didn't wanna fall, but you left me drowning. You did not care at all. Girl, you left me.
I love how you guys are giving each other feedback. It's so beautiful. You guys are wonderful. The lyrics are pretty nice. Alright, let's take a look what we have, right? So we have this bit over here.
I didn't wanna fall.
Would this work if I did this by any chance?
I didn't wanna
No.
fall, but you left me drowning. You did not care at all.
See, your vocalist needs some air. I don't know why a different area was focused on.
I didn't wanna fall, but you left me drowning. You did not care at all. Girl, you left me frowning. I'm falling for you, dear. I love it when you're near, but you just disappear.
Yeah, I think your vocalist is relatively okay. He needs some air. That 10 kilohertz region, if you use like a freaking 1073 on his vocal, then you can honestly just use the high shelf on that if you want. Let's see what that would sound like if I'm ignoring the like the beat and I'm only like as if I'm doing this only for the vocal.
I didn't wanna fall, but you left me drowning.
Oh right, of course, I gotta turn the EQ on. I gotta put this on to, and then low with a 20 pad.
I didn't wanna fall, but you left me drowning. You did not care at all. Girl, you left me frowning. I'm falling for you, dear. I love it when you're near.
So yeah, there we go. The 1073 with a plus 8 decibel. How many dots is that? 2, 4, 6, around 6 to 7 decibel boost around that region. On the high shelf is more than enough, honestly. So yeah, you could, if you want, you can just do it through a regular EQ, but you get more clipping stage, like that emulation of clipping stages, and the the dynamics and everything it'll feel good if you actually have a real legitimate analog emulation.
I didn't wanna fall,
Let's see.
but you left me drowning. You did not care at all, girl, you left me frowning.
Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much the feedback I have. Hopefully that's helped. That's basically, if I summarize it for you, your beat, make sure you're looking at some of your high end, make sure that you're looking out for any resonances in your lower mids in that region, and make sure it's not muddy. Maybe even dip it a little bit, use a spectral EQ if you have to, or figure something out for the synths, the pads, whatever you're using. Even if it's supposed to be a nice Drakey dark 2008 Drake with the dark themes or whatever, or 12 or whatever he's from, even if that's the kind of vibe you're going for, you still want to have air. On vocals, you should always have air, right? Like, that is just very necessary. But other than that, hopefully that's been productive, man. I hope you had I hope that's been useful. Regarding mastering, let's see, can I do something about that? Okay, so regarding mastering, be a little bit careful. Like I said, you have this really quiet bit over here. If I take a look at hey, maybe there's loudness optimize. Yeah, you have like this really quiet bit here. Like the beginning part is below your range, so that area is not going to be measured. So it's a good idea to just boost that area up a little bit. So if I decide that, okay, you know what, I'm going to just temporarily, hypothetically, right, just do something like this, and then I get some gain and decide that where is it? There it is. Just how many decibels is that off by? I don't know. There we go. Just a 3 dB boost around this area, and like the beginning bit, which is the you know, the thing that was a bit too quiet. All of this area over here to here, the 10 seconds of your track, and not just your 10 seconds, but all the way here as well. The last 10 seconds, that's 20 seconds. Now, I don't know what percentage that is, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a thing over here. 20 seconds, you got 2 minutes, that's 120 seconds. So you do 120 times 0.2, that's 24% of your track. Okay, I don't know, I'm not going with maths. But the point is, make sure those things are above the range threshold, yeah? Anyways, next track. Thank you so much for your submission. Really appreciate it. Hopefully I've given advice on mixing, vocal mixing, and mastering. All right. We have Dragon. Let's go. Oh, you got it. Nice. Single submissions. That's really humble. Really humble. I don't know what percentage 20 is of 120, bro. How am I gonna know that? What, like, I just freaking, you know, see how many 20s go into 120, and that's like 6. And then that means there's a sixth. A sixth of, what is a sixth? If we double that, we get, what is sixth as a percentage? Sixth as a percentage is 15%. You know what? Whatever. I don't care, bro. I do music. I don't do whatever. Okay, I only really have the one track I've been looking forward to throwing up here. Yeah, Dragon, we're gonna take a look at that track. That's gonna be great. I thank you so much for waiting and joining the stream and enjoying, like, you know, what we've been doing. Hopefully I've shared some knowledge that you've enjoyed, and yeah, you know, the reason why I'm not, like, you know, gatekeeping any secrets or any sources or whatever is because I don't think that, like, the sooner we can, you know, just get everyone knowing this shit, the sooner we can all get out of there, you know, and actually make real music. Because, dude, there's got to be good music, you know, and the more the better. And if you know my music, let's just say that the minute there isn't, you know, the right music out there, trust me, I'll be there. Nice filter opening. Oh! Have a bit of resonance on that filter. I'm not even gonna comment. Just let me enjoy this, guys. One sec. So much tension. Yes! Shit! That's way too hard! Holy shit! Oh my god! No way! Bro, what the fuck? I don't even... Holy shit. Yeah, no, bro. I'm probably not gonna use it, but I still want it. I want to tip you in some way. Oh man, that freaking gave me... Wow. That felt good. That felt good. That was like so much dopamine. Holy shit. Oh my god. Alright, so I got the track now. Oh, that was beautiful. Holy crap. How do I over? God freaking damn it, dude. What the fuck? Oh, that was evil. That was mean, bro. That was so mean. That was very freaking grim. Holy shit. Oh, that was amazing. You know, I have some feedback, but I'm afraid of giving it because I don't want it to take away what I felt. Okay. Let's see. What is it? I was thinking, hypothetically, don't even freaking listen to me, right? If I honestly, like, I'm just like, maybe. Look, here's the thing: you gotta be skeptical when people giving you advice, right? And when I'm saying that, like, you gotta be skeptical, is you gotta think about it like this. Something that whenever I'm giving feedback to people, I always try to imagine like a couple of things where it's like, okay, well, if I give this feedback, am I giving it because I'm trying to be creative on top of the track? or am I giving this feedback because of the fact that like it needs this in the track? So I try to be really careful when I'm giving feedback, because a lot of the times when people are giving you feedback, what tends to happen is they give it to you because they feel like you've given them 2 plus 2, but they've added 4 in their heads and they're trying to give you back the 4, you know? If I say, you know, for example, if I say something like, let's say, a 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Now, someone might come in there and say that, you know what you should do on that? You should add a 3 in there. You see what I mean? When they're just trying to, they're giving you the 4 when you've given them the 2 plus 2. You know what I mean? So whenever people are giving you feedback, make sure you're always thinking of like, okay, well, should I, is this feedback given to me because they want to fill those gaps in, which their mind was craving and was enjoying that they actually felt themselves? Is it one of those situations where if Drake submitted Marvin's Room a while back, they would have said, oh, that's a great track, but you know what? The instrumental is really like filtered. Maybe they need to bring those back up and like bring them brighter again. Maybe it sounds like it's a productive feedback, but maybe the question that you've left in that person who gave you feedback in the first place that they want answered and the only way they can get it answered is if you do this specific thing where it's like, oh, I want this boosted or that boosted, right? Or I want this to come in or whatever. So just that's the way to be skeptical when it comes to feedback. So I'm going to say something. I don't know what to say because I can't decide whether I am thinking 2 plus 2 or whether I'm so let me try this out, right? I'm going to say something here. Again, take this with a huge grain of salt, right? My feedback to you is not about what to do with the track. My feedback to you is about taking feedback. So I'm going to give you some feedback. You decide based on what I said on whether you should take it or not, right? So you have a filter opening up. So your filter, I have a feeling that it might be maybe it needs to start a little bit earlier, go up and have a deeper sweep. Maybe. All right. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at this. We have. Okay. So this is where it starts, around here. Okay. Maybe make the filter close off right on the root. So obviously the way you're doing your filter is not like this. This is not how you're doing your filter, surely. Because if you were, then you would get a really soft kind of thing. You're doing something like this with a little bit of resonance, right? When you're doing this, that's how you're getting that sweepiness in that sound. So try to find potentially the root of the song that you're, root or the fifth, right? So you have so if you are on a, let's say your root is a C, right? Let's say your root is a C. A C is around 127 hertz. Hypothetically, maybe your root is different. I don't know. So, no reso filter sweep. So it's not a resonance filter sweep. So how the hell is that opening up? I don't know how that's opening up then. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I just want to enjoy the track, dude. I don't even want to give it. I just want to enjoy it. But I tell you what. Whatever the root is, make sure, because you're saying it doesn't have a filter sweep. It was doing, make sure it's going back to the root. the C or whatever. So if it is a filter sweep, hypothetically speaking, because you say it's not. So I'm going back to that C. But obviously it doesn't have to be that C. It could be any C. It could even be a C over here. So right, I'm going to place a little marker over here. So it always goes back to that root. And that way it lands much more better. So look. So I've landed back on the C. You see what I mean? So it's not stopping over here. It's not stopping over here. You could stop over here if you're trying to go da da da, you know, da 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 da. And if this is so, you can stop on the you can stop on the C or the G. Look at your resonance if you're using a resonance filter. If you're not, like, you see, if I stop over here, it's like that. If I decide to stop on the G over here, and how do I know it's a G? Because it literally tells me over here, right? Like, you know, but you can also tell. There's a thing you can do online. You can go on the internet and search frequency to note chart. And you'll see this shit. It's all over the place. All the notes followed by what frequency they are. So G5 is 783 hertz and all that stuff. You have this one over here where it's like octave 1, octave 2, octave 3, and there's all of that, right? So you can find where that note kind of is going to reside. So yeah, you could try to make that filter land right back into there. If you're not using a filter, use a different one. And you don't even have to use a Pro Q. Screw the Pro Q. Let's use TDR Nova, right? Even though you probably, you know, using an FL thing. This is free. This is free. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn this into a... There's got to be a way to freaking cut it. Whatever, fine. Let's do it like this for now. But you find the, let's say for example, there's a G, right? Or a C, let's say C. 130 hertz or 261. All right, so 130 hertz will be around here. I'm going to let that ring back to this one here. So yeah, hopefully that's been good feedback, man. Hope you had a good time. Thank you for submitting that. Holy shit, I really liked this one. This was really pretty. Oh my god. Hell yeah. YG or C? So the reason I said YG or C is because of the fact that, like, fifth or root. This guy got it, yeah. So his song is in the key of C, I think. C minor, maybe? One sec, let me check. Let me get my guitar and let's check this out. Yeah, so there we go. That's what it's like. So it's that's C Phrygian dominant, I think. C minor would be. Yeah, so it's C Phrygian dominant, I think. I'm not sure what the thing is. I'm not that savvy with theory, but yeah, dude, amazing. I have nothing else to comment about the mix. Nothing about the mix. I genuinely don't have a comment. I'd rather just enjoy it, to be honest. Just let me just enjoy that one. All right, thank you so much for your submission. Let's take a look at Warm, but you know what? Before I take a look at Warm, I just need to use the restroom. Maybe have a cigarette, have a little bit of a break. But I tell you what, guys, please feel encouraged to submit your tracks over here. This is a track train. My name is Vichy Magic. I have been an engineer for quite a little while. You know, not even wanting to be an engineer in the beginning, but you know what? Like, it's what we do. I just wanted to get some songs done, yo. But yeah, Dude, do it. I mean, put something up on. Oh no! Before you put it on Spotify, actually, if you send me the stems, sometime this week, I'll try to find a way or time to master it for you. On stream or something, maybe, whatever. I'm happy to do it for you, honestly. Like, you have been listening to every single bit of feedback I've been giving, and you've been getting harder and harder with it every time, and I'm really proud of you. I'm really, really proud of you. That was actually really cool. I think that's the fastest development I've seen from you, dude. Good job. Good job. Other than that, yeah, so I'm gonna go for a little cigarette. I need to cool off after that freaking track. And Dragon, if you want to enter a call sometime next week, we can stream it and go over a little bit of, you know, what we do with mastering. Anyways, next up, we're gonna, yeah, Google Drive link is fine. If you have me on Discord, just send it there. Yeah, send the freaking Spotify link. Your thing didn't have a link. Yeah. Good job, good job. Yeah, how long have you been producing? Alright, I'll be right back. You guys do your thing. Holy crap. have returned. 30 minutes a day. Also can't find good sounds. Good sounds, you gotta curate, you know? You gotta be your own curator. But the way that you do it is through looking at references. You know, what do you think is cool? Because no one's gonna be 100% original, right? Everything is creativity. It's not original. And if you look at the definition of creativity, it's to be imaginative and to take things from original ideas. And so when you go into, you know, wait, hold on, is that even true? Define creativity. Use of imagination to, yeah, literally. I'll put this over here in case you want to read. So whenever you're looking at, this is literally what I said. All right, cool then. So whenever you know, you take a look at these different, curate your sounds, listen to what sounds good and what you felt sounded good before in the past. Use those ideas and, you know, borrow. You know, Picasso says that, you know, good artists borrow, but the best artists steal. So take shit. Let's take a look at Warm. Let's see what we've got going. Hold on, I think the list is not getting smaller on this window. I'm just gonna refresh it. There we go. All right, let's take a look. What do we got here? I feel like that other instrument was cool that you added on. It was perfect to add on. The melody went a little off key or something weird, and it went down a different path. Just try doing a unison or like a counter melody on top of this, which isn't so disruptive. Do it in key. It's a nice little melody. It's a nice little beat that creeps up on you. I wonder what it sounds like without the, yeah. Bro. It's one of your better ones, Warm. You have gotten better at production. I'm not going to deny that. Your bass isn't overwhelming. I mean, it is overwhelming, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So you did a good job. I will say that, like, you do need to take a look at how to see what's in the right key, right? And what we can do in order to find that is something really simple, bro. If I go into something over here and I search up circle of fifths, right? Yeah, it's your best so far, Dragon. It is genuinely the best so far that you've done. So let's say we have a circle of fifths, right? We're gonna take a simple one, this one, copy, and we're gonna take what Danny said and we're gonna paste it into Paint right over here, right? And Danny says it's well, he says that it's D sharp minor. All right. So let's say, for example, if you are in D sharp minor, I'm going to use red so it looks cool. We're looking at one of these minor ones. We got D minor, and D sharp minor would be the E flat minor, because E flat is basically D sharp, right? So say this is your key, right? This is number one. E And by the way, I know this looks complicated, so what we're gonna do is eliminate everything. So if this is your key, make a little pie, right? This nice, cute little pie. In fact, I'm gonna make this a little bit easier for you. Now that we found this, anything that's touching this, even closely, is everything within your key. And I'm gonna make this easier for you, sir. What I'm going to do is I am going to eliminate everything that is not over here and just delete, right? Just to really prove it to you that this is what it is. So you have your E flat minor. What comes after E? You have your F sharp. Then you have your G, which is your G sharp. Then you have your A, which is your A sharp. Then you have your B, which is your C flat minor. Wait, hold on. E, F, G, A. So, point being, sorry, I'm getting a little confused, but these are the chords that you want to use, right? F sharp is a G flat, right? So, yeah, E flat minor, then on the wheel. So yeah, you just go by it and just like, these are the chords that are going to work with you. And the way that it works is you have every scale pretty much has every letter. So you have your E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and you can go back to your E. But what happens is you decide is what's going to be like over here. So this is an E flat. F would be a sharp. G would be... Huh. Yeah, I'm a little confused. I haven't really used this portion of the wheel before. But I tell you what, just look at these chords, right? And take a look at these notes. And if you take a look at these notes, you should pretty much be on key, But that's provided that Danny says is, it is in D sharp. But yeah, so other than that, yeah, just take a look at the wheel. And those are the chords. And also the notes that work, right? So yeah, you have G flat, G sharp. One sec. Let me go into this view over here. So yeah, all you really need to do for now is just make sure you're in key. Just focus on that. After that, you have, let's see, your bass, which is sounding okay. It's just a little... Let's stop that there. Let's see what we have. I'm just going to delete TDR Nova, go into this EQ here, just so that it's a little bit easier to... You see you got these low mids of your bass. It's nice to have them loud and clear, but this is too loud and clear. Much more humble now, right? So yeah, you want the subs, you want a nice balance between your subs and these harmonics over here. Your subs and this harmonic, make sure they are yeah, they're balanced well. You see, if we do it too much, it's not really nice anymore. But we have too much. Now it sounds like a freaking rotary engine. So you want to find a nice balance. Around here, it's quite a bit of a dip. It's like 6 decibels. But yeah, that's about it. Just take a look at your key and take a look at the thingamajig. Alright, so I'm just gonna go next artist. I am so hungry, bro. Okay, let's see. Giga Whack. What do we have here? Yeah, bro. I'm gonna have to say next week, come back with knowing, how to make things work in key. Make sure that all the notes, you know what they are before you start going into them. Make sure every single note is in key. The reason why I'm saying that is because I want you to be able to know how to do that before you start challenging, notes and making them outside of the key. That's supposed to be something that we use to challenge or move to a different type of groove or a melody or a rhythm or whatever. But for now, just understand what key is. Yeah? I don't think this is on key either. This... Fair enough. Not really. The bass is a bit weird. Yeah, there's something clashing. I'm not sure what two keys. That's gonna take a minute to figure out. But you can kind of tell. And it just kind of looped, didn't it? Yeah, I'm assuming that's a loop. So... the G sharp and you have a C, I'm assuming. The background higher sounding pad thing. Listen to these notes. That's fine. This over here is something off key. Yeah. This was off key, that D, I think. And this, that was on key, that last note over there, over here. This sounds in key. But then something like this. You see what I mean? By off key. So yeah. And that one. Yeah. You also got some resonances. I don't know what patch you're using, but it's not a nice one. It sounds very resonant. If we do something like this, I guess, for now, just to check. Yeah. Just chose a key and I thought then gave me the lighter notes. I put the notes from them, so I don't know, they're not in key. Well, maybe take a look at the synth that you're using. Because if you're using a synth that has like, a patch that is like adding sevenths and fifths and all that weird stuff on, which is cool, but if it's adding like certain notes on, then those notes might be off key. You know what I mean? So if you turn off like that little synthy pad thingy majig, it might sound like it's a groove that's going in key and everything like that. yeah, definitely trust your ears, because if you don't trust your ears, you're gonna be having some weird serum patches or whatever synth patches, which are trying to be ambient. But the thing is, they have like different notes in them as well in order to make it sound ambient. But you're using it not as ambience. You're using it as a pad or a chord progression. You know what I mean? For example, if I have like a, let's say I have a serum patch, and I put this over here, and I decide, okay, you know what? Let's add, some. Okay, I'm getting a lot of latency. But let's say I have something like that. I have another oscillator which is doing something like this. Which might sound good in some things. Or whether you're doing something like that sounds good in some things, but then now he's changed to a different note, and it's like, it's gone weird. Even if I do the C major scale. Because this might be strange. Might be a little bit more normal, because 10 semitones up might be in key. You see, even if you have like this pad type of thing, it doesn't mean it's in key just because you're doing the midis in that key. So keep an eye out for when you're using patches. Yeah, definitely use your ears as well. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for this submission. Let's see, who do we have next? I think this was the one. All right, it looks like we have completed all submissions for tonight. Thank you everybody who's dropped a couple dollars to join the appreciation club. I appreciate you just as much. You guys are so incredible. You guys make me want to do this more and more. And have some fun. Speaking of having some fun, should we go back on Reddit? Let's see. What's going on Reddit? Is that dark mode? Where is dark mode? There it is. Alright, let's see if there's anything interesting going on with... What sub are we looking at today? Audio engineering again? Oh, I got a host for another 2 hours. So I'm here for a while. Might play some game, I don't know. But 4.5 hours? Yeah, that's the kind of goal. I think next week we should be having a lot more people. I've been working with Track Train lately to do these house parties, and I've been having a great time. Some of these people that are like actually making tracks and things, it's been really fun kind of seeing, what kind of, where they're starting off, what they're heading towards, and seeing them grow every single week. As long as people keep coming back every week, they get better. They genuinely freaking get better. It's just a common, and I'm saying this like what you call it? I'm saying they get better week by week, and I'm saying they grow in points by like 16-15%. Yeah, you can put in more song submissions. Absolutely. So it says mixing engineers, how does the ideal project look like? Yeah, I usually track and mix my own projects, but this time I got to collaborate with a mixing engineer from another country. Deliver a beautiful, well-edited and orderly project. So what would you love to see personally? Depends. Are they going to be opening your project file? If they're going to be opening your project file, well, I'm not going to say something as stupid and obvious as freaking name your tracks, make sure you color code them, and, make sure you label all the freaking... That should be common sense. So let's go into something a little bit better. Making sure that all the... whenever you're sending tracks to each other, or even, project files to anything like that, I would say ordering your tracks is one thing. Freezing tracks in case they might not have certain plugins, that's really helpful as well, because and rendering things out, sending them project file followed by another folder with zip of the stems alone. It'd be good to send them stems which are without any processing as well, like reverbs and things like that, you know, not sound design elements. You do that, they will have everything they could possibly need to whatever. Sure, you could say that like, oh, what about like rendering after each VST? That's too much. That's way too much. Let's see what the comments say. Naming all the tracks. I mean, he's not wrong. Let's see. Trying to find truly transparent mastering limiters. Pro L2 is good. Just make sure your release times and your channel linking is as low as possible. Release time as high as possible, attack time high as possible. You're gonna get transparency through the freaking wazoo. I don't know who Aphex Twin is, but if you want crystal clear drums, frequency masking, make sure things aren't overlapping with each other. So if it turns out you're in a situation where like, you know, like what you'll find is that if you want a kick and a snare to come through and you have, let's say, you know, a kick which is going to be a little bit more like this, a little bit more like this, and you know, maybe a little bit of that. Your snare is going to be, let's say this is about, you know, 70 hertz, right? 70 hertz. Now your snare is going to be something a little bit like this. Well, that's too hard to see, isn't it? So let's do something a bit like that. Your snare is going to be a little bit like that. But something you also need to keep in mind is the way you do separation. 140 hertz. Your snare's fundamental. Maybe boost that just a little bit. Because that way you have your octaves. Boo, tap, boo, tap, boo, tap. The octave contrast between your kicks and snares are going to make it stand out so much more. And even the fundamental is going to make you want to move a lot harder as well. So take a look at that. This area over here, we're taking a look at timbre. Do you want it to be something that's a little bit more bright if you boost it around here? Or do you want it to be something a little bit more darker if you boost it around here? And this is your 10 kilohertz, obviously. And this is around your 2 kilohertz, maybe 1 kilohertz, right? But this region, find the area. It could even be over here. It could even be over here, but you'll see like a divide, right? Between that snare. So it does help to bring up the timbre shaping of the snare over here. And after doing that, if you really want something crystal, where are your hi-hats residing? Are your hi-hats going to be somewhere maybe over here like so? Like that? If they are, then maybe you want a darker snare so that they keep as separated as possible, so that they don't get clashing over here in that region over here if you're changing your timbre to that area. So with this, you're already deciding what type of sounds you want to choose. That is sound design, not using Serum. Serum is not sound design. Serum is sound creation. It's called synthesis, right? That's completely different. So decide, this will help you choose and design the sounds. An architect is not a builder. He's or she's a designer, right? AI won't replace mixers, but it's already changing client expectations. First statement's a lie. I really hope that AI replaces mixers. I hope that none of us have to mix ever again. I hope that we can just tell AI and it knows who we are and how we want things and how we want to challenge things, and it can make our visions come true without needing so much technical information. Honestly, I feel that the only reason that mixing and mastering engineers exist is because of the fact that there's a technical bottleneck between what the artist wants. The artist has a vision, that's what needs to be achieved. That's always number one. If you as a mixing engineer or a mastering engineer is not worshipping the artist's vision more than it's your God, whether you believe in Jesus, Allah, freaking whatever, if you're being a freaking engineer, your number one God should be the artist's vision. That is the thing you have to serve with all your freaking life. That is it. That is all that matters. And if you are going to start getting paranoid and worried about your jobs getting taken away because, you know, these guys have better tools, then you are not a good artist, a producer, I mean. Your job should be to get the client from A to B. Number one. It does not matter. In your personal life, do whatever you want. That's nothing. But number one thing is the artist's vision. And sometimes the artist's vision is not the client's vision. So you do have to tell them. But the vision, that needs to be reached no matter what. As easy and quick as possible. That's how it works. That is only how it works. That is the only way. That is the only job of a producer. So if people are getting, you know, shitty about AI, you know, oh, they shouldn't replace mixes, it's a nuanced craft, is this, no, it should replace mixes, it should replace mastering engineers. Let's see. And honestly, I'll be losing a big portion of my income, whatever, right? But the thing is, I don't care. Because I'd rather you guys as artists, as beat makers and everything, get the vision that you want to get across. As singer-songwriters, that's more important to me than my job or my livelihood. I don't give a shit. Next thing, producer mixer refuses to hand over stems. Oh, did you guys agree on that beforehand? I don't know. I think a producer mixer should easily hand over stems. We met this producer through single. We do a single. $1,200 for a single. Okay. We received revision 6. Superb at best. Receiving stems. Only 1 reply out. 3 and 2 emails. Is all the best, mate. Removed our file access to the revisions. Okay, that's twisted. Do you know why they're doing that? I'm going to tell you exactly why they're doing that. I will tell you exactly why they're doing that. Because this is exactly what I meant. Why we need to get rid of producers. Beat makers, we need them. They're great. They're lovely people. Kind of. Artistically, they're lovely. In general. No, all the time they're lovely artistically. As people, in general, they're okay. We'll come to that though. Because I don't really know. Everyone's different, right? Producers and mixers, a lot of the times, this is why we need to get rid of them. Because it's about arrogance. We are the people that are forcing our way into their collaboration. The only reason they want us is because of the technical bottleneck. If there wasn't a technical bottleneck, honestly, like, trust me, if there was not a technical bottleneck, they would not want to freaking get near it like a 5-foot distance with us, like 1 foot even, 10 foot. They wouldn't want to get a mile. They wouldn't want us to exist. They wouldn't even want us around. The only reason we exist and the only reason why they want us around is because of the technical bottleneck. Otherwise, that is it. And that's why we're forced into a collaboration with these people. They don't want us. They really don't. Trust me, they don't want us. So if you're getting paid $1,200 fucking dollars and you're not handing over stems, you're the reason why. And you should be ashamed of yourself. That's the issue. I'm just saying it straight up. And this is why we come into this post over here. Right? This is why. So it's about the artist's vision. It's got nothing to do with us. We're the forced collaborator that they did not want in the first place, but they need out of necessity. You think these people didn't try learning how to do mixing? Try learning how to do EQing, or try learning all the stuff that I've been teaching in these streams? Of course they've tried, but there's a certain incompetence to it because they've put all their skill tree points on the artistic element, the vision, the ideas. So that's where it's at. I am not a producer myself. I am a singer-songwriter. I learned production, mixing, mastering, LUFS standards to, you know, the BS1770, the AES documentations. I learned about everything that I possibly could, from spectral centroids to frequency masking to, you know, everything to do with true peaks versus, you know, the loudness, to different platform standardizations, to, you know, dynamic details between I've learned everything to do with these things, not because of the fact that I'm a singer-songwriter. Yes, it is because I'm a singer-songwriter, but the only reason I learned it because I didn't want to go to producers anymore. I'm sick of them and mixing engineers and all that stuff. This is why I'm over here trying to make sure you guys are able to get the best mixes without having to go to external mixing engineers. I don't like this. But that's how passionate I am. So in reality, this is what you get. And I'll tell you one more thing. I'll give you a real world example. A person came up to me saying, hey, I've got a mix over here and we're not really happy with it. You know, we rented out the studio and there was an issue. This is drama, I understand, but hear me out, right? It's actually crazy. So what ended up happening was this person came to me saying, hey, we've got an issue. Our producer who's recorded us and done everything like that, they did a really weird mix. We don't know what's wrong with it, but we don't like it. So, you know, could you take a look and give some minor little tweaks and feedback? I took a look. It was completely off. It was not that good. It was horrible not because of the fact that the producer didn't know about technical details, but because of the fact that they did not care enough to empathize deeply enough with the artist's vision. They spent so much time to practice, like rehearse and practice, writing things out, getting everything down, and this is what they freaking dealt with. So I'm like, raw fam, what is this? You kidding me? This is what you guys have delivered to this client? So I looked at the track. They were already like $400 in, and they were stuck. And they were saying, we'll do one more revision. So they went up to that producer at the place, and they were like, yo, you know what? The producer said this. I will, you know, this is as good as it gets. This is what it is, right? Hopefully you like it or not, whatever. I don't know what it was. But when that client came to me, his client came to me, I then said, all right, I see the issues. I made a 15-minute video, like for that client, saying, this is what's wrong. They're treating reverb like this. This is echoey as balls, and this is not the thing that you guys were going for. There's so much reverb from the room mics and everything, which hasn't been tamed. There's so much bleeding going on and all that stuff. And you guys might think this is easy shit. It isn't. It's hard to de-bleed mics and all that stuff. But that producer's charging hourly. So I'm like, all right, well, let's continue with this conversation. I fixed their track from the shitty master that I was sent. And then afterwards, they asked that freaking producer, hey, can you please send us the stems? Because I asked for stems so I can mix it a little bit differently. Guy didn't respond until way later. He was like, and then later on he said, hey, how about this instead? You come down and I'll give you guys the opportunity to make any final tweaks and fixes and adjustments. That's what the other producer said. First of all, who are you to say that we're going to make final tweaks and fixes and adjustments? Who are you to say that? Who the hell are you to say that? You're a producer. You're not an artist. Shut up. Right? There's nothing to do with you. You're charging hourly. Right? That's another dumbass thing. And I'll tell you why I think that's a dumbass thing. I'll come to that in a short bit. And who are you to decide anything about what the final product should be? Who are you at all, bro? At all. So that's where I just got mad. He didn't send the stems over for a really long time. Eventually, they insisted and they got the stems over. Insisted. Unlike this asshole over here, who's like, all the best, mate, and removed the revisions and everything. So I'm over there like, all right, challenge accepted. I spent an hour and a half, did a better mix than what that guy did in ages. Not even because I'm a better producer or I have more technical knowledge. Forget that shit. This guy has a freaking real studio, a real proper studio with all the recording gear. He has 1073s, original Neves. He has LA2As. He has the great, perfect dynamic mics. He has the R80 something ribbon mic. He has everything he could possibly freaking own. and he should be a good producer, but he isn't. But because of the fact that he doesn't give a shit about the artist. So that guy can fuck off. And eventually I did a mix within an hour and a half that was better than what he did. I spent extra time doing that. And again, like I said, it's not my technical knowledge. There's a lot of producers, quote unquote, or beat makers that call themselves producers. Stop kidding yourselves. You're not producers, you're beat makers, which means that you are not a technical element, you are an artist. You're an artist. So there's people that are going to be there tweaking knobs constantly, right? All the way up. And it's like, this is how it works, right? The artist vision is something that's supposed to be like this. Like there's people, right? You have a little starting point. Great. I appreciate this. But there's people that are tweaking knobs on serum and things like that, and they're going and they're moving and they're moving and they're moving and they're moving. They're wasting their time. What comes first before any technical things? Art, creative vision. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw the creative vision out, right? That's the creative vision. Now, if you have a creative vision, you tweak those knobs until you move and you tap that. As soon as you have tapped this area, you stop, confer with the client, and see if this line is the same as what they were saying. I mean, is it better than what they were saying? Or is it worse than what they were saying? See how close you got. But the stronger your empathy is and the stronger you feel people out, the closer these lines will be to the green. That's called being a good producer, is being an artist. So that's how it works. Eventually we get it down. And now we've mastered all of the tracks for that group and we're happy and it's good. So that's how it works. That's how it works. I'm just saying, you don't bullshit, right? Like, if you're a beat maker, you're an artist, all right? And if you're gonna use the production side of you, the technical things, tweaking things or whatever, remember, number one is you as a beat maker, you as an artist. That is number one. This green line here of you as a beat maker is more important than anything else. Yeah? So remember that. Let's see. A friend of mine has made a couple of albums, and this one album, she's paid the producer a lot of money, explained the vision over and over. He mixed a completely different sound and vibe than what she wanted. She was so upset because she paid thousands of dollars for something completely different than what she wanted. Honestly, I'm going to be starting like a thing called MA Teams, and we're going to have producers that I'm going to be nurturing and catering and growing myself so that they know how to feel people out. Yeah. Eventually, I hope that I can get the information across. I hope that I can get empathy across to a lot of these arrogance, this arrogance and stuff, and we can stop focusing on how much of a technical knowledge we have, and focus on actually appreciating each other and understanding what our artistic vision is. Right? So yeah, that's the goal. Do we have another submission? We have Sura. Nice. Sura, bro, we're gonna take a look at your track. I'm gonna put this onto here. Alright. Let's take a look. Diamond Teeth Final. Okay. Okay. What happened to the dynamics? Okay, I feel like that little glistening sound is a little too loud. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna track this down. Yeah. The thing is, I'm gonna have to stop it there because that's really piercing. It's almost painful. What is going on here? Okay. Oh, I wasn't even recording the right track. Alright, fine. Let's delete all of this stuff because it's getting me confused, right? He started to get better. Maybe. We'll give it another shot. We'll give it another shot at recording. We'll stop it right there, just so we can see what's going on. Let's do this, and we'll do something like that. Okay, fine. Control L, and then. All right, so here's what we have. Okay, there's a lot of. Is this frequency necessary? Is this really that necessary? So, might not be. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that sharpness. You know, I'm gonna have to probably just do a spectral EQ here because it's really harsh. So what I would say is, yeah, bro, I'm sorry. You need to fix that. That's really harsh. That's like almost piercing. That's what's stopping your vocals from being heard. That's why we can't hear anything in the vocals. Yeah, mixed into the background, and also like maybe a different sound, or maybe like put it through some saturation and then lower the gain. And if we, this might not be that necessary in the beginning. It's a bit too much. You see that rumble? Might not be too necessary. Mix that in, you know, mix it in. Right? Everything that you have is above, like, I don't know, like 60 hertz. Maybe, like, if we removed all of this, it wouldn't make much of an impact to your track. You know what I mean? You need some subs. You need some sub frequencies that are going like over in this region as well. Like, where is it? Like around 20, not 20, but like 30 to whatever, this region here. Your bass is all the way up here, which, to be fair, okay, I see. Alright, let me just skip to this area. Yeah, I would just say that you gotta be careful of that area over there. Your vocals could be boosted around 3.5 roughly. Not the entire thing. I'm doing this for demonstrative purposes. Maybe 2.3. Yeah, and you got just a bunch of like stuff over there. Be careful of that. I know what you're going for. You seem to be going for like this little, like this ambient type of thing with like all these glitters and all this like rock type of thing. And, you know, it's all good. I appreciate it. But the thing is, I would still say like, be a little bit more careful with that stuff. Even over here. So this is what's happening. Your vocals are actually over here. But also over here, you have those resonant, really harsh things over here. You see what I'm saying? So... you see your vocals are over here, and we can't boost them back up unless we also up that crazy glittery crap, right? So yeah, that's what I would keep an eye on. Softer is usually better for ambient. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. That's really harsh, that's what I'm saying. It's resonant. What does resonant even mean? So this is, let's turn this off and let's delete this. Look at all those really sharp spikes. You see all those things? The pain that you heard from hearing that is the pain that we hear even when it's at neutral. You know? So yeah, I guess that's pretty much the gist of this one. We'll do one more track and then we will call it a day. I know we're supposed to do 4.5 hours, but like we'll do this one a bit shorter so there's more energy for next time. Let's see. Oh, this is really looking quiet, but I'm gonna track it down right away. Oh, it's okay, Surat. Oh, you're still here. Bless. If you want me to go over any more tracks, please feel encouraged to send it over. I didn't even think you were still here. Thanks for sticking around. Yeah, send another track if you'd like. I would love to take a look.
What is this life? This life I've been living. Was living for myself, not sticking to your vision. Yeah, cause I thought I knew what was best for me making.
I want to listen to the lyrics, sir.
It was only after you caught out that I saw my mind needed revision. I don't need the information. I don't need the education. I don't need the dissertation. I don't need the vaccination. No, I put my trust in my Father. He's the God of all creation. Your divination's a trap that'll end in your elimination. Transformation into your way. If we love you, we'll obey. John 14:15. It's so clear. To your laws we must adhere.
I believe she's into religion. Anti-vax. You should make the beat louder. Verity, you should try to listen to some reference tracks that you enjoy that you want it to sound like, and then mix your track. See if it sounds somewhat similar. Doesn't have to be to the dot, but similar.
Soldiers, we live for Christ, enlisted in his army. Every day we die, burning on the altar, living sacrifice. twice. If you're living for yourself, what a waste of life. Yeah, there's no peace in that. It's all a lot of strain, selling your soul for the momentary gain. It's really so insane, sick in the brain, and you're still in pain. You can take it away. These dead souls dying. We're trying to show you life, don't forget the afterlife.
Yeah, ad-libs are nice.
That's the truth you're denying.
And it's silent. Oh, then the chorus. Yeah, fill that in. Have more lyrics in that region.
John 14, 15, it's so clear. To your lost we must adhere. To those who said the law is gone.
Okay. John 14:15. Why am I going to take a look at this? Why? Because you can do better when you're writing lyrics. Here's the thing, guys. I am not a religious guy. I don't personally have beliefs or whatever. But what I do have beliefs in is writing lyrics well. So if you are gonna mention John, or a certain verse, take a look at do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me. My father's house has many rooms. If were that. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like this has already got quite a bit that you can take a lot of inference out of. You don't need to say John 14, read this bitch. No, you don't need to do it like that. You can literally take something from this and put it in your own phrasing. What is a cool way to put this into something that's a little bit more representative, or your interpretation in a line that works, So... And also, this is a big-ass freaking line. This is a paragraph, bruh. If it was me, and I was, a believer or whatever, I would probably not shove all of this into one. John 14:15. Let's see. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Oh, hold on. Did I stop recording this? Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, let me stop that. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me. Who's... Okay, right. My father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I'm going there to prepare a place for you? There's so much over here you could take. John 14:15. Okay, cool. So this thing. If you love me, keep my commands. All right. There we go. Oh. It's so clear that you... Yeah, but now it sounds like a little bit it says over here, it says it in my rule book, so you gotta believe, you gotta adhere to these laws. No, don't do it like that. If you want people to follow it, you gotta be lyrically speaking, I would say you could even put this into second person perspective, if you love him, keep his commands. Instead of saying the verse thing. Because when you say the verse, it sounds preachy. I'm not religious, but I feel that if you were to say the verse in your song, it would sound a little bit preachy. If you're gonna, if you want to use a simple line, this is a freaking two sentence line. I'm sure there's a way you can infer that in a more cool way. Not cool, but if you love me, keep my commands. If you're here, then please adhere. I don't know, something, I think someone would be, if you're here for me, please adhere. So please, yeah, to your clause, to your laws we must adhere. You can have that as a separate thing. Anyways, let's keep going. Welcome to the stream.
Renew our minds.
I don't think it's blasphemy. I don't know. It's not blasphemy to sing from the perspective as if you're with God and you're saying like, yo, bruh, come over here. If you're here with us, with me and God, this is something you got to do. But that might sound a bit preachy too. So just take it, just be a little careful with how you say the line. Measure was to convict those who are hypocrites, who don't believe the word they say they believe. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Let's finish. Okay, it's a 5-minute track. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at the mix, folks. Time to look at the mix. Okay. Over here it sounded good because of the fact that like the reverb and the ambience was working together pretty well. And that was pretty litty. The echoes of the plucks match the echoes of your voice. A little bit, right? You see what I'm saying? It's not for everyone. No, it isn't. But the thing is that you can make it, even if it's not for everyone, you can still make it cool. You know what I mean? You can still like, make the lyrics a little, I mean, you got some really cool lyrics in there. I was just pointing at that one little thing. If you like write in your song literally the name of the verse and passage, then it might be a little expository. It's like me, even if I was to quote Beethoven, even if I was to, not quote Beethoven, sorry, Shakespeare, even if I was to quote Shakespeare, it would really feel preachy because I'm quoting Shakespeare. It's not about religion. It's got nothing to do with God. It's got nothing to do with any of that. But if you're quoting like, oh, make sure you read Macbeth at this line here. This thing has information. I don't know. That's a bit, I think you can do better. All right, let's go.
What is this life? This life I've been living. Was living for myself, not sticking to your vision. Yeah, cause I thought I knew what was.
The beat needs to come up. The beat needs to come up. And I know that like.
What is this life? This life I've been living. Was living for myself, not sticking to your vision. Yeah, cause I thought I knew what was best for me, making bad decisions.
Okay, here's the thing. I believe that like it's okay to be religious, whatever the hell you want to do, but the thing is that does not mean you have to put that into your reverb. Like you don't have to always freaking put the reverb to the point where it sounds like you're in a church. You really don't. You really don't. You can be religious anywhere if that's what you want to do. Think about what the beat is and match the reverb according to where the track is. So, sometimes Christians put where to find the verse in their songs for the Christians who might say, sometimes Christians put where to find the verse in their song for the Christians who might try to say it's not in the Bible, but perhaps they could find a more creative. Yeah, you can definitely find a more creative way to put it. And the thing is that if you want to have debates, you go to a debate. If you need to be expository, you can be expository, but that's a language-based thing. I would say you can put like, okay, here's the thing. The only thing that I've done with the Bible, but then what I did was pretty much blasphemy, right? So I am not a good reference, but you'll see the point that I'm making. Like something that I wrote was like, welcome to Vichy, man, you can't tell me. My emotions run deep like I'm Chantel D, and I keep the K low as I farm damn peas. I don't write about fucking know your plants and bees. I'm gonna talk a lot of bullets like a nommed MP, hard as calm MT. Welcome, it's my tabernacle if you Psalm 15. Problems that I tackle and I'm talented, also I live and laugh in pieces. So I mentioned like Psalm 15 or whatever in there, but it was like such a tiny little thing in that entire verse, It's not like the main freaking downbeat of a chorus, Like, yeah. Dragged that up. It definitely lined on the work was large room sound because I think it's prettier and more ambient. You can have a lot of ambience there. You can definitely do that, but you don't need to do it in your low mids. Like you don't need to do it down here.
Was living for myself, not sticking to your vision. Yeah, cause I thought I knew what was best for me making bad decisions. It was only after you caught out that I saw my mind needed revision. I don't need the information, I don't need the education, I don't need the dissertation, I don't need the vaccination, no. I put my trust in my Father, He's the God of all creation. Your divination's a trap that'll end in your elimination. Transformation.
I brought up your vocals, as dry part of it as I possibly could. But in your lower mids, you can have like the ambient stuff a little bit more in your highs, you know?
I was living for myself, not sticking to your vision, yeah. Cause I thought I knew what was best for me making bad decisions. It was only after you caught out that I saw my mind needed revision. I don't need the information, I don't need the education. I was living for myself, not sticking to your vision, yeah. Cause I thought I knew what was best for me making bad decisions. I was living for myself, not sticking to your vision, yeah. Cause I thought I knew what was best for me making bad decisions. I was living for myself, not sticking to your vision, yeah. Cause I thought I knew what was best for me making bad decisions.
Now, here's the thing. You have a lot of t's and all that stuff. Make sure you tame them too before the reverb, okay? Because I'm boosting over here. I'm getting like a lot of the t's. So if you tame that before the reverb on your dry vocal, you have a much more fun time like boosting that in your like actual reverbs, you know, the highs and all those fresh things and all that stuff. Yeah. So you have your vocal, clean it up, cut down anything below the lowest fundamental, whatever you do, compression, this, that, yada, yada, yada. De-esser. Find the areas which are doing that or that stuff. And then after that, after it's all clear and done, add the reverb. And also make sure the beat is a bit louder because you need to be inside of the beat, not completely drowning the beat on top of, you know? So make sure you do that.
For myself, not sticking to your vision, yeah. Cause I thought I knew what was best for me making bad decisions. It was only after you caught out that I saw my mind needed revision. I don't need the information, I don't need the education.
So yeah, you can see the difference. But yeah, other than that, I think you've been doing a good job and your flow was pretty nice. I appreciated that. Yeah. And it sounded good. Oh, we got some more submissions. We got Surah again. All right, let's take a look. I'm gonna try to get through these ones a little bit quicker because I'm getting a little bit sleepy. No, not sleepy, hungry. Okay, so Surah, this one came out as a 404. I don't know why this beat didn't come through. So I'm gonna have to skip this one. This one should come through. It did. Perfect. So we'll take a look at this one. And yeah. Let's see. Yes, got it. Yep. Bless. Yeah. I appreciate the ambient like okay, so both of you are into ambience. All right. Let me see if I can be a little bit more. Yeah. I'll be right back. I'll be 1 second. Just need to use the restroom. And we'll go over ambience in a little bit more detail. 1 second. You know, it's funny. We just had the freaking craziest capsizing neutralization. We listened to a freaking track on, like, you know, religion and God and all that stuff. And then the next post that I see while I'm going out is if you love Satan and you know it, do a sin. Bro, what the frick? Anyways, we're gonna take a look at ambience, folks, and how to make ambience a part of your tracks and your mixes. How do musicians like to put ambience into tracks, and what even is ambience? So ambience is basically the sound or sounds that are surrounding you based on the current location and the and your placement, right? We're taking a look at things like in day-to-day life, we're talking ambience as in cars going by, people chattering in a cafe shop. We're taking a look at a bunch of different things to do with where you are, whether it's in your room, there's always a little ambience, whether it's your refrigerator running. So in this case, we're talking about space. That's number one, right? Ambience, we first start with space. What is the room that you are in? So if we're taking a look at the room that you're in, it's going to be one of those situations where, are you in a cave? Are you in a freaking room? Are you in... So reverberation is a big part of ambience, massive part of ambience. Then the second layer that we have when it comes to ambience is to do with the, you know, what kind of soundscapes match each other, conventionally speaking. The same way that we have, you know, if we take a look at trap, what is the conventions of trap? Right, it's hi-hats like that going with 808s and 909 snares. Conventions of, you know, R&B, chimes going like boom, 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 acoustic, like real-time basses, the electric basses, hand played, some plucks, marambas, whatever. So we don't make music off R&B. We don't make trap music, we don't make R&B music, we don't make rock music. We make music that borrows conventions from things like rap, R&B, or whatever, right? We borrow those things. So when we're looking at ambience, we are borrowing in a more curated standard. When we're looking at ambient music, we're taking a look at, okay, we have some nice little melodies of plucks that are like, you know, xylophones. Maybe an electric guitar won't necessarily fit. So we're trying to fit that ambience while keeping a really mellow vibe, you know? So yeah, let's take a look at what Switch Up has presented. Welcome to the stream, folks. Thank you so much for joining. It is a huge pleasure to have you here. If you guys would like to do a submission, please encourage to do so. Right over there, you know? Just take a look at the link, and yeah. Let's take a look at this track over here. All right, Sura, let's take a look. Swear, I dropped bombs of information. Don't sleep on me, yo. You should have stuck around, Siphus. Thank you. Hope you have a good time, Siphus. If you added velocity, you would get a more dynamic piano playing, some more dynamic velocities, but keeping it like this keeps it nostalgic, like video gamey. If that's what you're going for, you know what I mean? Something's breaking. Oh. Your snare sounds almost the same as your toms. So it's hard to tell, you know? Yeah, I think that's intentional. Alright. I'm gonna pause it now. Alright. So, I mean, when you're looking at ambience, you do want to, like, you know, because you're doing production stuff, right? So if it was me, I mean, what happens if you use this CPU? You guys see how you guys are missing on the high end? Becomes a little bit easier when you're not panning your pianos all the way to the left in the lower region. A lot of reverb could be increased around this region here. It allows it to kind of breathe. This is a breathing area. This is like the nasal area, but if you have it like a wide band, it does feel like it's breathing. So if we have like a... Not for the instruments, only for the reverb. Only for the reverb, okay? So... This is your nicer track. It's actually really pretty and cute. Also, you have a compressor, don't you, on that piano? Because I heard that tong, you know? Let me get a transient shaper and see what's going on. Let's put this over here. Yeah, I feel like you put a compressor on your piano. It didn't really need it, in all honesty. See that tuk, 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 tuk. Yeah, you see? That's due to compression, I think. So if I was to just dip this just a little bit, what would happen? It's your attack time. Your attack time is a little bit fast. You see? You see that? So if we play it from here, take a listen now. Compared to... You hear that? And the reason why is because you have a compressor which is going like ta, just acting a little bit too fast but really slow, you know? So, and the compression is really harsh. That's why it's doing that. So yeah, take a look at some compression. See if you enjoy the option of playing with the dynamics of the piano. It's not necessary if you want to make it sound nostalgic and video gamey. Another thing was in regards to general mix. Yeah, like I said, the reverbs, you can bring some of those things out over here in this area, around 1 kilohertz. Get some of your bass back maybe. Bring some air. Your snare needs a little bit of this region. Right now I'm doing it like this just to prove a point, but only listen to the snare when I play this, alright? Only listen to the snare. Don't listen to the other elements because otherwise it's gonna get a bit painful. You see how your snare is basically dipped out? So yeah, just be a little careful when you're doing that. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for your submission. Dude, I want you to come back next week. I want to see if like you know, if the stuff came across, and I want to see what your next track is going to be like. All right. Last one for tonight, folks. After this, it's food time. Actually, might not be food time, but 16 minutes. I'm closing the stream, so this is gonna be my last one, and then we'll chat for a little bit, and then we'll take it easy. All right. Before I play this, I'll go grab something real quick. BRB. I won't be long. It'll be like maybe about 15, 20 seconds. No, I'll be here. Okay, let's see. Thanks, Vichy. Your knowledge is appreciated. Yeah, oh, thank you. I appreciate you being here, man. I like seeing. You know what my favorite thing to do though, Sura, is seeing people that I give feedback to, but then next time they come back, they're actually improved and they're actually like better. Like, just taking into account, you know. It's a process, you know. Just keep letting me see what you're doing. I'm more than happy to keep you know, providing anything that I know and seeing your visions come to life. That'd be awesome. That'd be really nice. Okay, let's see. Coming Alive. Let's listen to this one now. Here we go. I might be on RS in a bit, maybe. Short bit though.
Now I'm alive, coming alive. I was lost in my pain. I was lost in my pain. I was lost in my pain. Now I'm alive.
The reverb doesn't seem too bad here, I think. It's better than... Why is it so quiet though? Yeah. You gotta make sure the tracks are louder. Feels good to hear it on a stream or something, right? Because then you know.
Waiting for me to look at you and surrender. I didn't have to go through so much pain.
Your voice is nice though. I like your singing voice. And your melody ideas are cool.
It don't make no sense how I'm still breathing.
Okay.
You saved my life time and time again.
Gosh, my hair's a mess.
You're the reason I kept my sanity. After all the torture,
Yeah, you need to make sure.
lost me. It's because of you that I am free,
We'll see what we can do.
and I won't go back to who I used to be.
Oh, some guy traumatized you.
I was
Oh no.
lost in my pain. I was lost in my pain.
Yeah, I feel you. Some people are like, oh, the tracks are way too loud, so you're trying to be. But this is overcompensating by like 28 decibels.
I was lost in my pain. I was
Was lost in my pain. Lost in my pain. Now I'm alive. I feel like some Dutch person would really like this track. That's really quiet. I wanna stop this now and we'll play it and see what we have.
I was lost in my pain. Now I'm alive.
You guys are doing the same.
In the darkness for so long.
You guys are really skipping on that air region. Yo, I swear, I didn't even, I'm keeping the same freaking EQ settings as what I do with Sura. And it's already nice and bright.
Swinging my sword, broken and bad and nearly shattered.
I have not changed the EQs, same thing.
The whole time
And with the low dipped over here and
all along. Waiting for
you see?
me to look at you and surrender.
Does Cripple Up make music?
I didn't have to go through so much.
You know what I'm gonna try doing? I'm gonna try putting like an L3 L3 multi. We'll put a multi maximizer on here and see what happens if we just like crank it through something loud.
I was lost in my pain. Now I'm alive. Walked in the darkness for so long. Swinging my sword, broken and bad and nearly shattered.
Yeah, you're way too loud. Alright, so let's see what we can do about that. Is there a way to remove your vocals?
I was lost in my pain. Now I'm alive.
Okay, what if we did something a little bit like maybe Master Rebalance has something. Master Rebalance, and I'm sure somewhere over here we could probably go on the vocals and lower them by 9 decibels, and that should make a difference at the very least, right? Surely. And then we play now.
I was lost in my pain. Now I'm alive. Walked in the darkness for so long. Swinging my sword, broken and bad and nearly shattered. The whole time you were there, all along.
Okay, well, if it's that bad. Okay, I'm gonna do something if it's that bad. Just yeah. Getting better versions next week if they're ready. Alright, so basically this thing is rendering right now. I'm using like a backup microphone. And we should be able to hear a little bit what it sounds like if we lower your vocals, do a little bit of maximizing, add a little bit of like another EQ log. So once this is done, we should be that long. 80% done. Take a look at what we've got, and hopefully we can get it before and after. But yeah, so yeah. Okay. I thought it would have been done by now. Why is it frozen? It's freezing the track, which means that all the rendering should be basically right. Because it's already rendered. Reason. A bit weird now. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So we have like a little before and after. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this mic. That we don't have to. Here we go. See the difference.
I was lost in my pain. Now I'm alive. Walked in the darkness for so long, swinging my sword, broken and battered, nearly shattered. The whole time you were there, all along, waiting for me to look at you and surrender. I didn't have to go through so much pain.
See? I mean, I think that's a noticeable difference.
But I was stubborn and trusting in my ways, and trusting in my ways. Coming alive, coming alive, coming alive, coming alive, coming alive.
All right. Well, Check, check. Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, you know, we got 2 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions? Anything they want to go over? Any last minute little things that they want to you know, any curiosities or anything like that? You know, feel encouraged to join my Discord server, which is this, if this is something where you want to go. You know, we are in the Grinders, Music Grinders VC from time to time, where we, you know, do like a lot of productivity and stuff like that in these channels. You know, and yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool server. It's nice, you know. We stay doing things. So you can do that, and other than that, I guess I'll wait like until it hits 23. Ooh, we're so close to midnight, folks. We are so close to midnight. We're right there. This is really close. And once it's done. But I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much for showing up. And yeah, every week, every single freaking week, we don't miss. I think next week is going to be a little bit crazier. I mean, I've been, Track Train's going to try doing something a bit different with it. So I'm really excited for that as well. And other than that, now here's the thing about these streams, right? I want to say one more thing. I actually don't really know how to end these, so it kind of becomes